The Horrible Gamers podcast may contain content not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Horrible Gamers Podcast, show number 231, be recorded on November the 10th, 2018. I'm one of your hosts, Jesus Gonzalez, also known as Jesus Walks a Lot. Today, I'm joined by the crew from the West Coast, the best coast, and my friend, Henley Merrill. Gunny Chief is back. Welcome back, Henley. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. How are you?
Mighty fine. How you doing? Sir?
I'm doing just great.
Okay, guy. Thank you for joining us one more time, I guess.
Awkward.
And
how are you, man?
From the great state of 8 Mile, only known for its shootings, carjackings, the city that's in bankruptcy, and some Great Lakes, I guess. Eric Smith, St. Nicholas is back. Welcome back, Eric.
That's all we're known for is the Great Lakes. That's the only thing going good for Michigan right now.
What about football?
But now Washington doesn't want to keep supporting the Great Lakes, so it's all up to the citizens of Michigan to keep the Great Lakes pure and clean.
And save them? What do you mean support them? You guys, like, Washington gives them money to put water? So. They put water into the Great Lake? What do they put into the Great Lake with the money?
They just keep it clean, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, what do you guys need the money for? You gotta explain this. I mean,
roads?
We legalized pot now. We legalized pot now, so...
what are the new laws? Tell us about those.
Tell us the new laws.
Any new ordinances?
So proposal one.
Proposal one.
That was to legalize weed, and we legalized it. So we're going to be... There's actually a picture of a bunch of pot plants in potholes, and then it said, this is how Michigan's going to fix the potholes.
He's going to pay for it.
That's a great way to campaign for something, man. That's a pretty smart idea there.
Right, and then the other one was proposal 2 was to make a committee of 13 people to... It's basically a mini electoral college in the state of Michigan.
Oh, that's pretty smart. I like that idea. It represents what the people want, huh?
Yep. So that passed.
Wow.
And then there was another proposal for the school, and that didn't pass. I said, F the school. You're not raising my taxes.
Whoa, what if you have kids?
What if you have a child?
I don't care.
Are you not send them to school?
I'll send them to school, but I'm not going to give the school money for them to raise my taxes.
So this is what they do nowadays is, if you have a child that goes to school, and a lot of parents are going to know that this is true, they send you a list usually, right? Like before the school year starts, they'll send you a list to your house and be like, this is what is recommended for your child to have to start the next school year. And they'll be like, a box of crayons, a box of color pencils, 3 ring binders, like 3 of them, and like so many pieces of paper, all this shit, right? They give you like a list of shit to buy them, right?
Right.
And then your kid will go to school on the first day of school, and then they make all the kids dump all their shit into huge bins, and then they distribute them out to the students as they need it. So no matter what, yeah, exactly. So if you go into the store and your child is picking out all their shit, you're like, which binder do you want? You give them a cool binder and all this cool shit.
You get them all the cool Marvel stuff.
They're going to have to dump all that shit into a bin, and then they get to pick out of the bin what they get.
So I think you're just better off going with nothing.
Yeah, just don't show up with anything, and you're still going to get free shit.
You're buying the teacher supplies when she should be going out and buying the supplies herself.
That's how they do it nowadays. But anyways, Oregon, let me tell you about Oregon's elections. Oregon passed a new law that lets people tax groceries now, which was fucking stupid. I don't know how they... The way they worded the law was fucking dumb.
Like certain groceries?
No, all groceries. It says... Because, Oregon, of course, is known to have no sales tax. We have no sales tax on anything. Oh. Like, everything is just... The price you see, even on the internet, it's the price you're going to pay.
Yeah.
No matter what. If something's $400, you pay $400. But then we get taxed a lot on our state taxes and all that shit. We do have a state tax and an income tax. But there was a law that was supposed to set up a committee that can add an Oregon tax to groceries in Oregon. But the way it was worded, it was to not let corporations tax it. But it's like you're going to let the state tax it and our corporations tax it. It made no fucking sense. And people were just too stupid and didn't read the law, and they just voted no for it or something, or yes.
Goddamn Oregonians, man.
So now we're going to get... And now they're proposing new tax laws in certain cities for sodas. They're going to start off with the sodas. They're going to start taxing our soft drinks and our drinks with sugar in them.
Are you going to be able to get 10 cents off those cans?
No, don't think they're going to get rid of the ball deposit. They're going to keep that shit because they make tons of money off of that. It's 10 cents now per can. So they're still going to keep that, but then they're going to add another tax on top of that. It's called the sugar tax in some states. I know Washington State has that already. Seattle has it. You have to pay.
See, we have
sugar tax.
An extra tax on our sodas too. It's a deposit tax.
No,
it's literally 10 cents for our. 10.
In Oregon, we have a bottle deposit tax, which is already for the bottle. You're paying for the bottle.
That's a CRV.
And then you get that back when you take it to the store and return it or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But then we're going to get another tax on top of that in certain cities for like the soda itself. For the drink that's in the bottle, you're going to get another tax on that.
And you said that came out of your income taxes and what else?
Our state taxes, like all our sales tax comes out of that.
So is it not going to come out of your income tax or all that jazz anymore?
No, they'll keep that the same. Don't worry about that. They could just add a new tax on top of that.
That's money hungry right there, bro.
And
that's
then
Oregon. Be like, give me some money.
And then they also repealed the law because in Oregon, the legislature, you got to have 3/5 of a vote to propose a new law and to pass it, right? Well, there was a law saying to keep that, right? To keep it where there has to be 3/5 of the legislature in the state of Oregon to pass a law. And there was a law to keep that or to take that away, and people voted to take that away. So now the state of Oregon could just pass any law without 3/5 votes. They could just pass a law without even half the votes. They could just be like, oh yeah, we think majority voted this way. We're just going to pass the law anyways. It's just, I don't get it, guys. Anyways, whatever. Enough voting law talk.
I want to hear Gunny's.
Yeah, you didn't get to hear about mine because mine's going to take a lot longer.
No, Gunny.
So here's what it is. You played a game. I played a game. Talk about the game you played.
That's right. You can follow us on Twitter at _HorribleGamers. You can leave us a review on iTunes, Horrible Gamers Podcast Community. It's our group on Facebook. Go join it. Feedback at horriblegamers.com is our email address. Patreon.com/horriblegamers is where you can support the show and do the Patreon stuff. Quick shout out to Jonathan Hall, Alan Maybe, Joshua Wolf, Evan Tanaka, John Jerome, Adam Sunday, Clint Theo, Dirty Bite, to Robbie Wheat, David Snyder, Brian Capeza. Thank you guys for supporting the show. And thanks to you, we have declined to put ads on our show recently. A certain company wanted to do ads with us. And we're like, no, fuck you, company.
You declined that. Okay.
Yeah, we declined that. We don't want that ad on our show. You fucking people. Anyways, our intro song is done by Fowler and Twistics, and it's called Breakout. Our outro song is done by Broke for Free. It's called Night Owl. But last week you got a special outro song. It was The Adventures of the Wild West or something like that I found on YouTube. It was a cool song. I liked it, so I put it in there. Why not? Why not? Real quick, I want to give a quick shout out to somebody on iTunes named Starbuck United, because he left a review for the show. He said, a fun podcast to listen to for gamers. So far, I enjoy the convos about the games, old and new. For those of us that are a bit old and remember the classics, laugh out loud, but getting to hear about the latest games and how they are through these guys is enjoyable. It is hard to find a good talk radio feeling, specifically about video games, so hit the subscribe button for these guys. Happy face. Thank you, Starbuck United. You are awesome. I don't know who you are on Xbox or something, but if you want to add us, go ahead. You know how to add us on Xbox. Just listen
add us.
Just add us.
Get it, Chief. Jesus walks alive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyways, let's talk about video games, y'all. I play video games. You play video games?
I played a bunch of games.
I played a lot of games.
Mm-hmm. I'm talking about a new game I played this week. Battlefield 5 came out yesterday on EA Access and EA Premier and EA Origins Access for PC players. I want to say I played it because I did. Guys, let me talk to you about my Battlefield 5 experience. I gotta say, the game opens up pretty fucking cool. It has a pretty cool little intro. Like, as soon as you launch the game, the very first time you ever launch it, it takes you through, like, this, like, story kind of, like, intro thing where, like, there's this kid talking about how his dad told him, like, the best soldier is a soldier that can kill his enemy without making him a human, without thinking the enemy is a human. Like, you don't humanize the enemy. You just think they're an enemy. You don't think anything of him. That makes a good soldier. So it shows, like, this kid, you know, he's a paratrooper and he's shooting shit and he lands and he starts shooting people. But every time you're going to die. When you're going through this, like, you're doing, like, certain missions and you're going to die eventually. So you're just killing people and you're kind of getting, like, a story, right? Like, the first kid dies. He gets shot by a tank. And then, like, it'll cut over to, like, somebody in a tank and they're driving through the desert and you're getting commands. The commander's like, go left. And you're fucking turning the tank to the left and the battlefield music is playing and you're shooting at tanks. And then the tank gets blown up by a bigger tank. And then next thing you know, you switch cameras and now you're fucking flying an airplane through the sky and you're shooting down British bombers and you're a German airplane pilot or whatever. And you're just trying to take out all these bombers and there's like 100 of them in the sky. And it tells you, like, take down as many as you can. So you're just fucking running through the fucking airplanes, blowing them all up. And then the British fighters come out and you start fucking shooting them and your guys are calling for help. They're like, help me, I'm being chased. And then you're fucking trying to help them and you can't get to them. And then you see your fucking pilot friends start dying. And then you get shot down and then you crash. And then when your plane crashes, it switches the camera over to the left. And you're an American now and you're running behind these tanks and you're trying to get to this city and you're like running in there and everybody's freaking the fuck out and everyone's getting shot at and the buildings are blowing up and all fucking grenades are going out and grenade fucking everybody's freaking out. And then you switch cameras again and then you're back to playing a new person and you're shooting like these Germans that says hold the line and you like get on this little machine gun and you're shooting at this hill and these fucking Germans are just coming over the hill like running at you full speed and it's like hundreds of them, dude. And finally a tank comes in and shoots you and you like fly back. And then the Germans just come through and they start executing everybody in the head, just shooting them as they're walking by them with pistols. And yeah, it was
epic.
Fun. Fucking epic. But all this whole time, the Battlefield theme song is playing in the background. They did a really good job with that. I was like fucking pumped and I'm like, yeah, I want to play more. Give me more of this. So I went to the operation. No, I went to Conquest first of all. Me and Brink were playing the other day. I gotta say, squads worked. It never works on launch day. Never ever works. He was able to join my squad. We launched into a game.
Well, it's not launch day yet, technically.
Well, it is launch day for Xbox people.
Yeah.
And so we were playing that. And the thing that was weird, though, I was the one who was squad leader. I picked Conquest mode. And he got into the game before me. Like 10 minutes before me. It just queued me and it put him in the game. So I was sitting there. And then finally, the game was like, all right, 10 minutes later, we found a spot for you. Let's put you in there. And they put me in the squad with him. And then I played with him. But then I was kind of bored by it. I don't know what it is, guys. Like I said the week before this, before this week, the last show, I said I played Battlefield 1 and how I think not Grand Operations. That one is just called Operations. How I think Operations is now my favorite mode. I stand by those words because playing Conquest, I was kind of bored, and Brink was all into it because he's used to playing the Conquest. I'm not anymore. I was just kind of like, okay, like I guess we'll go for A. I guess we'll go for C. It's like it was just me and him trying to play the objective, with our whole team was just fucking off, camping A or something with sniper rifles, you know. And it's like, I finally told him like after 2 matches of that, I was like, dude, I'm getting bored of this. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't want to play Conquest anymore. Let's go to Operations. Let's try to find a mode that's more focused on objectives, right? So then we switched over to Operations, and we were playing that, and we got destroyed. I'm not going to lie. We didn't win one match because the other team was just fucking good. They were just coordinated as hell and playing good, man. And our team was just dumb. They were just... I feel like our team was just trying to go for kills like usual. We're just like there's a team
Call of Duty style.
Yeah, they're just trying to snipe people from the back, and I'm like, you don't fucking get the point that we got to go to A and cap A. That's the only flag on the map, and we got to cap that flag. And half of you fucks are in our spawn, sitting there with sniper rifles, not moving forward. What the fuck are you doing? Like it pissed me off so much, dude. Finally, I just gave up. I didn't really have fun with it, but I gotta say, I didn't have fun because the teams weren't playing the objectives. It's not that the game wasn't fun. The whole shooting felt really good. The pacing feels amazing. It feels a lot more like a Call of Duty now, where the movements are much faster, more fluid. There's a sliding mechanic you can do now. There's a mechanic where if you're laying prone, or say something blows up near you, right? Like say you're standing behind a wall in a house and you're shooting out the window, and a tank shoots at the wall. Say it shoots directly at the wall where you're at, you're gonna die. But say it shoots into the building you're in, but the missile goes through the left and it kind of hits the wall to your left. You're gonna get knocked back instead of dying. You're gonna take a lot of damage from that. Maybe you'll be down to 50% health, so your screen will kind of go dark a little bit. Then you'll fucking fly like 10 feet. Then you land on your back, and then you can start crawling backwards, like on your back, and just shoot people as they run through the door. All those those moments are awesome in Battlefield, and that's what I enjoy.
Yeah.
So playing that was really cool. Shooting people, it seems way more realistic now. When the way they get shot, they'll kind of move. Like if you shoot somebody on the left shoulder, you can see their character kind of like just like tip fucking to the left real quick and almost fall over, but then they get back up and catch their balance. I don't know how that's...
so it's not so robotic anymore, right? Where you can just see the hit markers, but they're not exactly reacting to that. That's good.
No, they're reacting by the way you shoot them. It was really cool, like seeing that kind of mechanic. I don't know how that affects your camera, because I never noticed it. Somebody shot at me and my camera moved to the left or right. I never saw that, but you could see the animations when you're shooting at people, them doing that. The suppression system works great now. I mean, you can still suppress people. It's a little bit different now because it feels more intense when you're being suppressed by a sniper rifle or a machine gunner. I gotta say though, the machine gunners on a tank, those guys, you're just dead meat, dude. There's no way you're gonna survive up there more than a minute. There's no way. Playing Battlefield 5
Do they have a longer cooldown, do you think?
No, it's not the cooldown. It's not the gun. You get a big machine gun. It's like the same as any other Battlefield game. But the only difference is you're standing on top of the fucking tank with nothing around you. You're just up there with the machine gun, and there's nothing covering you. In other Battlefield games, you were inside the tank shooting through the machine gun inside the tank, so like no one can really hit you with the bullet.
Oh,
and this one, you can get sniped from like... Every time I was in the tank, I would be killing people, right? Just fucking grenades were getting thrown at us, and every time I would die, it was some sniper across the map, entirely across the map, who shot me with the sniper rifle. Like no way I was gonna see that guy aiming at me and shooting at me, and that's how I would die every single time. Another time I died was with like a missile. Somebody like, I don't know what they did. Either it was a tank or something. It shot like a missile at us and it hit us right on the side and it knocked it. Like my character flew out of the fucking tank, like flopping in the air, like oh fucking. And I was dead as hell. I was super dead.
So with the shooting, is it bullet spongy or does it seem pretty?
No, it seems pretty. No, it does not bullet spongy at all.
That's good.
Pretty good with that. It doesn't seem like it takes forever to shoot people. Sniper rifle bullets don't take forever to kill people, but a lot of them are not one-shot kills. Some of them are. Like I mean, it depends on the distance I guess the person is to you, which makes kind of sense. Because I was shooting at people from across the way in one match, and I was just shooting people, and like the sniper rifle felt good, dude. Because these guys were paratroopers, right, and they're coming in. And we're shooting at their airplanes in the sky, but as they're landing, they're running up this hill towards us to destroy our AA guns. And we have to defend the AA guns. That was our mission. So we're sitting there, and I was like, fuck this. I'm not going to spawn as a machine gunner. I want to spawn as a sniper class, because, these guys are running up the hill at us. Why not snipe at them? And sure enough, I was hiding behind these sandbags, dude, and, like, it just sounded... The audio in this game is beyond me, man. Like, the audio is great. Amazing audio. So you're sitting there just kaboom, kaboom, you're shooting people. And like, I was just pulling out my scope, man, and it would just kind of like, I don't know if it was auto aim or not. It felt like almost a lot like auto aim. But I did have to move my reticle over them. And I would shoot them in the chest and like, you just see them fly back, dude. They were just getting shot and falling. And I killed like 7 people in a row. It was pretty incredible. I was like, holy shit, that was amazing. They killed me though when they 5 of them ran up there, and I ran out of bullets, and I had to reload the rifle, and it was like a bolt action, so it was taking forever to reload.
Yeah,
they finally shot me.
Realistic,
But the audio is incredible as always. They have new modes for the audio now. They have 3D spatial surround sound, so that if you have Dolby Atmos or Windows Sonic on your Xbox enabled, you're going to be able to hear audio that's above you, below you, to your top right, top left, bottom right, or behind you. You can tell where the audio is coming from, where the gunshots are coming from, which is usually from everywhere, because it's just fucking war zone, so it doesn't really help much.
You're right.
Because you just hear bullets everywhere all the time.
Especially when you're in like you said, one of those silo things and it's going ting, 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 ting. Like, where's it? What direction is that from? Yeah.
Everywhere. I seen people catch on fire. That was fucking brutal. That was brutal looking, man, because you got these napalm grenades you can throw, and you throw them at people, and they fucking land on them, and you just see them screaming, I'm on fire, help! Their whole body is just on fire. You see this little character mannequin thing just run across the field on fire, and then they fall over kind of, and they're trying to crawl away from the fire. It's brutal looking, man. I was like, oh fuck, damn. But the new medic mechanics are pretty good, man. You can revive your teammates if you're in the same squad. Anyone can revive you in your squad, and medics can revive anybody, and medics usually revive anyone much faster than a squad member. A medic will just run up to you and kind of pull out a syringe and kind of stab you with it real quick. Not as quick as Battlefield 1. They still have to pull it out of their little pouch and crouch next to you and then stab you or whatever. It takes a lot longer than Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1, you can just run and stab people with a syringe and just revive them and keep running. And this one, you can't. You have to literally stop over the person while you're getting shot at and revive them.
Yeah.
So that makes half the time all the medics are going to die.
But they have a little more powerful weapon, right?
Always. No, medics have usually assault rifles or SMGs now. They have a lot of SMGs for the medics. And then what's really weird, what I noticed was kind of weird, was as any class, you can have an array of weapons. As a support class, obviously I started off with this huge machine gun. But then I got an even bigger machine gun. But this machine gun I could only fire if I was laying prone or up against an object where I could mount my machine gun, and then I was able to shoot it. You can't just shoot it. If I was standing there, someone was running at me, I couldn't just shoot them from my hip fire. It wouldn't let me aim down sights. I would just have to shoot from the hip, and hopefully I'd hit them. So I have to make sure I'm laying down prone somewhere, or I was up against something. But then also as a support class, I unlocked the sniper rifle, and I unlocked the shotgun that I could use. So it seems like they're giving you a different choice of, hey, maybe you really like playing the support class and throwing down ammo for your teammates, but you don't really necessarily like using a machine gun. You want to use a shotgun or whatever. You can switch to that, and that's options that I like in the game.
That is cool.
It reminds me a lot more of Battlefield 4 in that sense, where different classes can use different types of weapons. But that's it, man. The game looks incredible. Running in 4K, running in HDR, all that good stuff. It looks insanely good, dude.
I've been trying to download it all day. I pre-ordered the game.
Yeah.
And then I got EA Access. So when I go to EA Access, it'll say download trial, but I'm like, okay, well, it's already installed. But even if I try it, it'll say error downloading, right? But then it'll take me to the page and it'll say, hey, play or whatever. And I'll hit play and it'll say, you're too early. You're way too early.
You have to launch the play through the EA Access app. That's what I noticed. A lot of people were having issues with that because they're like, it doesn't let me play. I'm like, well, you got to kind of go through the EA Access app and then hit the play trial, and then it'll download a little key for it or something.
Okay.
And then it'll let you play, and it'll tell you you have 10 hours left or something, and you can play. Of course, for the people listening, if you've bought the deluxe edition, you're gonna get to play the game in 5 days on October 15th. If you have the regular edition, you're gonna get to play on the 20th. So deluxe edition people get it a little bit earlier, but hey, whatever. I think to myself, let them work the bugs out. So by the 20th, you get to play and it'll be fine. But this game is going to be a hit, I think, dude. The only thing that I have an issue with in the entire game is that in the operations, the grand operations is what they're calling this shit, right? So they have all these missions that are based on real battles during World War II. but they don't have any of the iconic missions that we have seen in movies. They don't have storming the beaches of Normandy. They don't have that stuff. And I think to myself, no, and they don't even have it at launch. They don't even have it like coming out as DLC in the next month, because they've already announced the DLC for the first month, and that's something like some other battle in Paris or some shit. And I was thinking to myself, that was a huge mistake. You guys should have made a level where your grand operations is you're storming the beaches of Normandy, you know, because they have this whole thing called Tides of War where they're going to be adding like new operations every month or so. And every month for that month, you can only play this one mission or this one operation. And the next month you get this new kind of operation, and it's going to take you through the war. You know, and I'm thinking to myself, you guys should have done a Normandy one or D-Day, and then just fucking make so many trailers off of that one mission. You know,
do you think they didn't do it just because it's been overdone in almost every other World War II game?
Well, and they would get shit for that. Jesus, they would.
It has, but they would have done it so much better than anyone has ever done it in any other video game. Just the graphics in this game outweigh any fucking video game that's a shooter, dude. Like,
right?
People don't realize that. Like, yeah, it's been overdone, but you have never seen it done the DICE way with the Frostbite 3 engine. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Call of Duty did it. All these other games have done it. Medal of Honor has done it. But these are all shitty graphics. If you compare it to these graphics, man. Like I'm saying, the graphics in this game are killer, and Call of Duty World War II cannot compare to the graphical fidelity of the DICE Frostbite 3 engine. It just doesn't compare. You can't even touch it, dude.
That's why everybody's looking forward to the new Star Wars game. So,
and the destruction in the game, it's like incredible, man. I was in this fucking city, dude, and like the city was perfectly pristine in the beginning. Like everything was fine, like nice buildings, beautiful buildings and shit. By the time the game was done, dude, like the shit was leveled. That whole city was just destroyed by fucking bombers, airplanes, tanks, dynamite, grenades, people getting shot out through windows getting shot out, doors getting destroyed, concrete breaking everywhere. It was just fucking insane, dude. Bridges getting blown up.
Is the destruction pretty sweet?
Destruction,
I mean, it looks sweet.
It reminds me a lot of Battlefield Bad Company games where you could just level like the map, like just fucking level everything. Everything can go down, and that's fucking insane. It's ramped up from Battlefield 1, that's for sure.
Yeah, they always seem to do a pretty good job with the destruction aspect in the game.
And if you've played Battlefield 1 and you thought that game was a little slow, I recommend you don't pass this game up. This game is going to have way faster pace than Battlefield 1. Way faster. That's it. It almost feels like a Call of Duty game. That's how fast it is.
Sweet.
Is that going to hurt it, or is that going to benefit it?
No, it feels great. Like I said,
it feels good with that fast pace.
It fits the World War II theme where everyone's just in chaotic mode, running through places and shooting shit, and it fits that, you know. Pretty cool.
Right.
In other news, or in other games that I played, Red Dead Redemption, I beat it. I finished it.
You did?
Oh, man.
So last night I was able to get the finish of the game. There's an epilogue to the game. So when you finish the game, you actually don't finish it. There's still more missions left to do.
Nice.
I want to say that at the end of the game, man, like, it was really a redemption story. Like the whole game, I was an evil person, just murdering people. And there was a twist after I think it was chapter 5 or chapter 4. There was a huge twist where you ended up in a situation where it was just crazy, and then you get back, and this, like, it's just this emotional song is playing, and you're riding back to find your gang, and you find your gang is in shambles, literally, like, just bad shit has been happening to you ever since, like, this whole crazy thing happened. And then something hits you in the game where it's just like, fuck, I can't believe that just happened, dude. And then it happens, and you just feel bad the rest of the game. You just feel horrible, like, I just wanted to help everybody. I was like, I feel like a piece of shit. I'm going to help everyone.
I don't know the ending, but I know that I was doing a mission today that, well, no, I wasn't even doing a mission. I was at the camp, and I was telling one of the ladies that she goes, She goes, so how you doing? And he kind of sits down and starts talking with her just for like maybe 30 seconds. And he's like, well, I've been killing animals and stuff and just with no thought to it. She's like, is that it? No, I just been killing a bunch of innocent people too. Whole bunch of innocent people. Like, and then it was kind of like, that's it. I'm like, okay, like what's going on here? You know, it's got to be part of like what's in the story.
And then during the end of the game, after certain missions, they have like these pretty cool like Western songs or like these like I don't know what they are, country singers or some shit, singing these songs to you, and you're riding like it tells you to ride back to camp, and you're just riding your horse slowly back to camp, and the song is playing. And during those scenes, there was a lot of cutbacks to like things that I experienced throughout the game. I didn't even think that they were going to be a big deal, but Arthur would be remembering like people that he helped on the side of the road, and then be like, "Thank you, Mister. You're such a good guy. You're such a, you know, like good people are such a rarity in this world." And then he would have like cutbacks to like having a conversation with Tilly, and like I think it was that conversation you were talking about, Gunny, where he was saying that he killed a bunch of innocent people, and then she kind of told him, "Well, how about this? How about try doing one good thing? Like just try doing one good thing, and maybe you'll feel better." And he was having all these flashbacks to like having conversations with John, with Dutch, with all these people in the gang, and then just like even with Lenny, like telling Lenny like, Lenny, you know, don't think you're not part of the gang. You're part of the gang. Don't look down on yourself, even though you're black, even though there's a lot of racism, you know, going on. We don't see you as a different person. We see you as Lenny, the guy who's with us. You're not a black kid. You're fucking Lenny. You know what I mean? Right. And like all these situations in the game that was happening, like he was having all these flashbacks, and I was like, fuck, dude, like this is emotional, man. At the last mission, it was wild because a lot of things get revealed to you, like who was the traitor in the gang, what happened, and Dutch kind of has to choose sides. And depending on the decisions you made earlier in the game, Dutch chooses what side he's on. And then shit goes down. Shit goes down real bad because the Pinkertons show up. All kinds of crazy shit has happened, man.
I knew there was some kind of traitor, but I know you're not spoiling things, and I don't know who it is either, but because even when I went to that train robbery, they was like, how the hell did those guys show up so quick?
They show up so quick? And then you realize, like, it all makes sense now. Like, during the game, during certain missions that have happened in other chapters, is alluded to that one person is a traitor, and you think to yourself, that person's the traitor. And then there's a whole twist to the game. It's fucking crazy, man. It's an incredible game. I think I got the good ending. There's multiple endings based on your morality meter. If you're neutral in morality, you can end a different way. If you're negative, you're going to end a different way. And if you're positive, you're going to end a different way. I ended up filling up my meter literally in the last mission of the game. By making a decision in that mission, I filled up my meter to maximum honorable morality, or like maximum honor, because my achievement popped and it said, boom, you got maximum honor or maximum like negative honor or whatever the fuck. Congratulations, you got a 10-point achievement, and like it's a rare achievement or something. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, it's kind of weird how I got it in the very last mission of the game. Well, not of the game, but of Arthur's story. It was really cool though, man. I liked that. I liked it. It was an intense ending, incredible game, and the game continues. Don't think it ends. It doesn't end. It continues, and then what I don't know now is if all my side quests are going to reappear, because if they do, that's pretty awesome. If all the side quests with all the random strangers if they all appear again, and I'm able to do them, then I recommend people just finish the main story and then go do all the side quests, because it's going to give you a ton more playability, you know what I mean? You're going to be able to do a lot more things in the game, I feel like.
So you don't know if you're in a New Game Plus or not, or is it just a continuation?
I've been reading on Reddit, and lots of people on Reddit are saying the game continues after you finish the main Arthur line. The game will continue. The game just...
Okay.
It actually even increases the map size and continues a story, like a new story. Like, and then now you can go back and do like... meet all the random strangers in the map, like meet the bone lady, meet the new people. There was a situation in the game where some people from the very beginning of the game, were popping up in the end of the game, and like, I don't know if you guys have got to the point where something's revealed about Arthur. I don't know if you got there yet.
No.
You guys are so behind. Jesus Christ. You guys need to catch up.
Pretty much everything you talked about last week, I played this week.
What the fuck are you guys doing with yourselves right now? What kind of podcasters are you guys? Play more.
You want to know what I'm doing? I'm just walking my horse through the whole.
Oh my god!
Everything.
Walking the horse. Oh my god! Oh,
I know.
I'm guys.
I'm taking my time with this game
270 hours later.
I don't want to just blow right through it. I kind of want to just experience it. But I might now start just doing the main missions because I'm starting to feel I don't want to grind right now.
The last chapter is very long. That's how I felt by the time I got to the very last chapter, because your gang ends up moving yet again for like the fucking 5th time. And
wait,
by the time
they move their camp?
Dude, they move it like 5 times in the whole game.
Okay, I'm still at camp number 1 in chapter 2.
Oh my god.
What?
Dude, Jesus, man.
See, I'm at my 3rd camp.
You're so behind.
Is that right?
You're so behind. So, Eric, you're at the mansion?
No, I'm not at a mansion. I've gone to a mansion.
You're in the camp by the river, right? By the lake?
I did I just got done doing that like Romeo and Juliet mission.
Yeah. So that's cool. After like the ending of that chapter is really cool. Anyways, you get to the last chapter, and by the time I got there, dude, I felt so betrayed by everybody. Like, I fucking hated Dutch. I hated Micah. I hated everyone in the fucking game.
Oh, I already hate Micah.
You piece of shit.
I still have that mission to do.
And I just started running through the story, and it still took me like 15 hours for the last chapter.
Damn. Okay.
Like, I was running, like, I'm not even kidding, dude. I was just doing the story missions, the yellow missions, and It took me 15 fucking hours. I was like, fuck, when is this gonna end? Like, it never ends. This thing just keeps going and going and going. And so, like, if you're just taking your time to that fucking game, you're gonna play it till, like, next year, dude.
Yeah. Well, I'm not.
So I'm gonna spoil it for you before you end it. If you don't end it soon, guys. So end it soon.
I'm playing through the story missions. I'm gonna stop.
Can you spoil it during Thanksgiving since I won't be here? Can you just do it that show and I won't listen?
I want to do a spoiler cast so bad about this game. There's so many things that have happened to me, and like I said, the game it's fucking wild, man. Like, the only person that's at my level that has played as much as I have that I've talked to is Evan Tanaka, because he actually invited me to a party last night, and he was like, Jesus, I need someone to talk to about this game. I was like, what's going on, dude? He's like, tell me you're in chapter 6. I was like, actually, yeah, I'm doing a mission right now, a pretty big one. He's like, thank God. He's like, none of my fucking friends are playing this. They've all fallen off of it, or they all stopped playing, or they're all behind me, so I can't talk to them about anything that has happened. So me and him were kind of having a conversation last night in the party, and like, we were both having the same reactions. Like, dude, holy shit, what did you think when this happened or when this happened? He's like, fuck. He's like, that was crazy, huh? I was like, yep, that was pretty fucking crazy. It was still incredible, dude. Like, it was fun having a conversation with someone who actually plays the damn game, guys.
Hey, I play the game too, but I have to work and, like, take care of shit.
I work too, motherfucker. Are you saying I don't work?
I'm not saying that, man.
How dare you assume that I don't work?
I wish I could play more of this.
Oh, man, it's really so good. I gotta say, man, it's such a incredible looking game. It looks so fucking good. I'm like today actually, I'm headed into Blackwater now, because I gotta go talk to some people in Blackwater. So I'm headed to Blackwater, and I rode from all the way in the north of the map to the bottom, and this song was playing, and I was like, man, I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm not even gonna run on my horse. I'm just gonna like gallop it a little bit, lightly tap A, and run slowly down to the south. And yeah,
just take it all in.
But for the listeners out there, don't worry. I think by the end of this weekend, I should be done with Red Dead, and I'm moving on to other games. I'll probably be moving on to Hitman 2, which comes out on Tuesday. And I'll be probably getting that. And then, of course, Battlefield 5 will be coming out shortly after that for me, because I have the 20th edition. So, there's that. Good stuff, though, man. Good stuff.
Yeah, I'm yeah, like I said, it's just still early on. Did that train robbery with shit. What's the name? The Irish guy. Him and John. And that was kind of like, that wasn't the best mission at all, but it was kind of like, I see kind of how things turned out where those people showed up, that gang showed up like right away. And then you had to either like fend them off and then like get out of there. It's crazy.
Yeah. Some things happen in the game where a lot of things in the past come to haunt you in the future. Like a lot of decisions you make, you really think they didn't mean nothing until like you realize some people died because of the shit you did in a certain mission, or like innocent people died, and it makes you think like, fuck, that was really messed up of me. Why did I end up doing that? Why did I do it that way?
That's kind of cool though, that like, he's coming, like he kind of comes full circle, I guess, in a way, like what you're describing. That's because normally he's just like, whatever, I'm just going to go do my thing. Like I mean, said, you are Arthur, and you're just going to go do what you want.
The last mission with Arthur is called Redemption. Like that's what it's called. Like they just call it Redemption. So like it's, some crazy shit is happening. Like I said, Dutch has to choose sides, and that's what it's called. It's called Redemption. And I gotta say, like, even the last mission I did for Strauss, the German guy who makes you collect debts, the last mission I did for him, I just let all the people go. Because he was like, go collect these debts. And then I go collect these debts. Spoilers here, people, kind of a little bit. Skip ahead if you don't want to listen to this. Skip ahead a couple minutes. Like, I'm going to spoil this for you guys a little bit here. Like, the last mission I did for him, I went to this guy's house, or this guy who owed him money, and he was in the army. He's Captain Monroe or some shit. No, not Captain Monroe. Lieutenant something, or whatever the fuck. I go, and I find him in, like, the middle of this trail, and he's sitting there, right, with this wagon, and he's, like, has this wagon. He's trying to fix this wagon. And Arthur's like, all right, man, you owe us money. You shouldn't have taken the money. Where's the fucking money? And he's like, look, I can't pay you back, but I'll let you take something out of my wagon if that makes you feel better, right? Like, just take something out of my wagon. I got supplies back there. I can't go back to the army because he's a deserter or whatever, so the army's looking for him too. Yeah. And he's like, look, I can't go back to the army. They want to kill me. I'm just trying to survive out here in the winter. It's cold up here, and I need supplies to survive. All I have is my wagon and my supplies. Like, please, just take something out of my wagon and let me go. I don't have money for you. So as I'm about to do that, I'm going to the back of the wagon. Who shows up? The fucking army. And they're like, there's that son of a bitch. He fucking deserted, fucking traitor. So then I have to shoot it out with the army, right? It's like, help him or don't help him. I was like, fuck it, I'll help him. I shoot at the army, kill like 10 of them. And then I'm like, all right, dude, where's my money? But during the shootout, what happened was they shot a lantern that was on his wagon. So his wagon caught on fire in the middle of the shootout. And he's all freaking, he's like, my wagon! No, my wagon! He's all freaking the fuck out, right? Because his wagon's on fire.
Was that scripted, or was that...
I think that is scripted. I think that had to have happened in that mission. But then, at the end, he's talking to you, right? And he's like, look, I don't have much, but, and then, like, out of the woods, from the background somewhere, here comes, like an Indian girl or whatever, a Native American girl, and she's pregnant. And then he kind of gives her, like, a hug and a kiss, and he's like, oh, don't worry, honey, you're safe or something. And then Arthur's like, oh, damn. He just looks at him like, you should have told me this, you know what I mean? Why didn't you tell me this in the beginning, you fucking idiot? Right. And then the dude's like, look, I don't have much, but here's what I can offer. Like, this is the last thing that I have that's of any value to me. Like, he pulls out, like, this gold necklace or this gold chain, and he hands it over to you. And as he hands it over to you, you got a choice there. You can say, like, decline it, like, absolve the debt, or take his brooch that he's giving you. And I was like, you know what? Like, this dude is having a harder time than I am right now. Like, he has a pregnant girlfriend or wife or whatever the fuck she is to him. He's running from the army. And he's just lost all his supplies. Like, I'm going to let him go. So then Arthur's like, you know what, man? Like, just take care of yourself. And actually, Arthur gave him some money. He's like, you know what? Matter of fact, here's some money.
Oh,
go start a new life somewhere with your wife. Like, good luck to you and your wife. Go start a new life somewhere get out of here. You know, the army's looking for you. They're not going to stop looking for you. And then I go to the next person that owes us money. And there's this lady who, her husband worked at the mine. So I go to the mine and I go talk to the foreman. And the foreman's like, that son of a bitch? And he's laughing. He's like, he's dead. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, he died like a week ago. Go talk to his wife. She lives up there in this house somewhere on the prairie or some shit. So I'm going to the house. I show up to the house, and there's this lady out there in the front of the porch, and there's a little boy there. And she's kind of tying his shoes or some shit. And she's like, what's going on, mister? And he's like, well, are you so-and-so? And she's like, yep. He's like, well, your husband owes some money. And she's like, well, I don't have anything to give you. Like, she's like, matter of fact, I have to leave today because the bank is repossessing our house. We have no money left. You guys shouldn't have loaned money to somebody that was in such need that just took the loan. Right. Without realizing you guys like could have killed him, you know, like he died trying to work as much as he could to pay you your money back. And then, yeah, you know, like what happens, the bank people show up and they're like, you know, we're here to repossess the house or whatever. You need to leave right now. So, and I have a shootout with those guys. And then at the end of the situation, like she tries to give me like her last piece of money. Like she's like, here's the last piece of money I have, like $20. Here you go. This is all I have. Like, that's it. If I give you this, I have nothing left. And then I absolved her debt. I was like, you know what? Here's some money from my pocket. And you go on and take off, you know? And then you kind of like, Arthur kind of has like a moment of realization where he realizes that Strauss was loaning money to all these people that were just in such hard situations that they couldn't say no to the loan. And then he's making you go and kill these people or beat them up or beat them to death, you know? And then I show up back to camp, and then Strauss, you know, and kind of like Arthur kind of has like a falling out with him. He's like, get the fuck out of here. And Strauss is like, what? And he's like, get the fuck out of here. He's like, if you don't get out of here, I'm going to fucking shoot you dead right here. And Strauss is like, what do you mean? What do you mean? You know, what about Dutch? He's like, I don't give a fuck about Dutch. You need to leave before I kill you. So he makes him get all his shit, and then he just takes off and he leaves. And I don't know what happened to Strauss. I think he's just living his life somewhere being a piece of shit, you know, loan shark to people in the game somewhere.
Why? I mean, what made you just change your mind on taking their last bit of whatever they had?
Like I said, the whole situation that happened after Chapter 5 makes you have a moment of like, something bad is happening here. Like, wow.
Okay, but you still, I guess you had that choice to say, fuck it, I still want to be this, you know.
Yeah, you could still totally take the money from the ladies and the persons. I don't know if you still kick out Strauss from the gang. I'm assuming you probably do or something.
Maybe you leave on equal terms or something.
Maybe you just tell him, like, here's your last piece of money, get the fuck out of here or something, and you give him the money still, and then you take off or you leave it for the gang. I don't know what happens.
Interesting.
But you could still have the choice of being an asshole and taking those people's last piece of gold or money that they have. Really interesting game, man. And then the game, yeah, it's incredible how it ends. But that's it. That's all I have to say about it. It's a fun game. Play it, guys. Can't wait for the online, which is coming out on the 20th, I believe. Right the same day Battlefield 5 comes out is when the online comes out for it. It's going to be popular.
Yeah, is it going to be open beta? Do you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yep. But that's all I played this week.
Sweet.
Talk to me, Gunny.
Besides some Red Dead, I played that new game on Game Pass called Grip, Grip. I had this in my Steam wish list for actually a few months, and I'd never seen gameplay until now, but it's like one of those just endless go in a circle racers that, you know, you hit. It's got like, the way the car is, it looks like almost like that Batmobile style, so if you flip upside down, you're still going, and you get these like power-ups that, you know, that can like destroy the other vehicles, or, you know, it could be one of those like power boosts, or, I mean, they already have those kind of in the road, like in certain sections to, you know, boost your speed. I don't know exactly how the game works because I went about probably 42 laps, and I was like, does the game end? I don't know how it actually works, even though but I think I was just in like some kind of training mode, but I thought I pressed campaign. So I didn't play a lot of it. Again, just probably like an hour just to check it out. So it seems okay. I'm pretty sure it's got online. I just played the single player portion of it. Yeah, like it had missiles that you can shoot at like I think it was like 2 or 3 other cars. Then we're just in the, like, I guess you call it the offline campaign mode. Yeah, definitely get into that more. See how that is. Played some Pinball FX3. I'm always playing a new table since I don't play it that often. And I think I just played it on PC. I was like, I'll just play whatever's in my library. And that was just Star Wars tables and some other ones that I forgot about, but still a great game. Always try to get the high score, you know? What about you, Eric? What did you play?
I've been playing a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2. So I ran in. I helped some guy who got a snake bite. It was like the first guy you can run into get a snake bite, and then you meet him in, I think, Valentine, and he said, "Hey, partner, I just want to pay you for my debt for saving my life. Go into that gun store and buy whatever you want." Yeah. So I went in there, and I was able to get whatever. I bought that volcanic pistol.
Those pistols are good.
Yeah, so I got that, and then I bought some other kind of pistol, too. And then I ended up running into another dude who got bit by a snake. I don't know why so many people are getting bit by snakes.
Everybody gets bit by snakes.
And
lots of people have leg problems in this game. They can break their ankle, get their leg caught in a trap.
Yeah.
Or a horse falls on them.
Or something with the leg.
That.
Some leg.
And then, so this guy, he got bit. Same thing. I helped him. And then in Rhodes, I met him again at a convenience store, and same thing. He said, "Go buy whatever you want." But the convenience store in Rhodes kind of sucks. There really isn't much there.
Yeah.
And so I still am able, I think, because I didn't buy anything, I think I could still go there and get whatever I want for free. Because when I went to Rhodes, before that, I ran into this guy who was about to get shot up by some O'Driscolls. Uh-huh. They were trying to steal his wagon because there was gold or something in there. And I ended up killing the O'Driscolls, and he's like, "Oh, well, you can just have that wagon. It's going to be reported stolen anyway." And so I'm like, "All right, cool." I take it, and I try to open the back to get the treasure that's in the back of the wagon, and I can't get it. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe there's like some lock picks or something I can get from the store in Rhodes. So I go to Rhodes, and that's when I encountered that dude that got bit by a snake. And he said, "You can get whatever you want in here." I'm like, "Oh, score. I'm going to get some frickin' lock picks." I walk in there. There's no frickin' lock picks. So I'm like, whatever. And I walk out. Wagon's gone. I'm like, where the frick did
somebody
it go?
Stole it, yeah. Hey, but on mine, a few of those that I've had, right, I just call them random encounters. Not the snakebite guy, but the ones with the Driscolls where I came up to the back and and then well, I think because the guy even said, like, yeah, just take what you want, right? If you can get in there. And I thought, I bet this is going to need lockpicks. I went to the back and it said break with gun or something, butt of gun.
You give me
that option.
You get a lock. Is it called a lock breaker or something after you do that mission with Micah? There's a mission with Micah that you do. You rob a stagecoach or something.
Shoot.
And he gives you it's called a lock breaker or something. And I don't know. I've never used it ever since I did that mission because there's a few times where I like ran across these people that were like trying to break a safe open. They're like in the middle of the forest and they're like hitting a safe with the sledgehammer and they're like, "This piece of shit won't open." And they're like, "What are you looking at, mister?" And I was like, "I'm looking at YouTube pair of idiots trying to open a safe." And they're like, "What you say to me?" And then they pull out their guns and like, "Get out of here." And then I pulled out my shotgun and shot them both. And then I'm like, okay, how do I open this safe? And I try to pull out the block breaker and it wouldn't like prompt me to do anything. So I was like, this is dumb. Because like in a certain mission when you're robbing a bank, Arthur knows how to like crack safes. Like he knows how to crack them. And I was like, maybe it'll give me the option to crack it. No option. So I pulled out dynamite and I put the dynamite next to the safe. I lit it and then I ran away with my horse. The first time I ever did that, I killed me and my horse. So this time I'd make sure to put my horse a little bit far away. I told him, like, "Get on, girl," and she took off running. And I went up there, I put the dynamite on there, I lit it, and I took off running, and it blew up, and it sure enough blew open the door, and there was like $40 on there or something.
I did that. I put some dynamite on, because I did a mission helping the sheriff and the deputies in Rhodes getting the people who were making like the moonshine or whatever it is. And once I cleaned out the whole place and killed everybody, there was the horse and buggy there. And then I had dynamite.
Yeah.
I put all my dynamite on that buggy and all those horses.
Yeah.
And they blew up. And you could see the frame rate drop significantly. Yeah, because it was the wagon like shot up in the air and then slowly came down like snow. So that was fun.
I mean,
I was gonna say that the mission with John which I did today with the, what do they call it, the oil wagon?
Oh yeah.
Like they kept blowing it up. I kept reloading the checkpoint.
Is that where you're going to rob a train in that one, right? You got to stop it at the tracks and then...
You stop it at the tracks.
Yeah. Yep. I finished that one today, but I was going to say, like, I took out my dynamite and was like, let me just throw the dynamite over. But I always forgot about, every time I'd reload checkpoint, that horse is going to take off. So I had the dynamite out, right? And, like, the guy's like, stop what you're doing. He starts shooting. The horse oil cart takes off, hits me, I fall to the ground and then blow myself up. So I was like, forget it.
I have an issue with this game. During one of the missions, the last mission that I was doing, my horse died. And I can't find him anymore. Like, I think it really died. So, like, I lost my white horse. Now I got these
stupid... It should be on the map, right?
Or it's not... stupid-ass slow horses now that I have. They're super slow compared to that one. And I'm like, I fucking hate this horse. Like, I want my white horse back. And I can't get it. You can't find it nowhere.
You can't go to the stable and retrieve it?
It's dead. It's dead. Like, dead. It's red dead.
Damn.
But you'll see why. You'll see the whole game. You'll see why things happen, Gunny.
Go ahead.
I had the same situation you had, Gunny, where there was a guy in Rhodes. It was actually backwards for me. He wanted me to get in Rhodes. He wanted me to get something from the general store, right? Because he's like, hey, there's that guy that helped me. It was this black dude. He's like, he gave me whiskey or something. He saved my life. And Arthur's like, oh, don't mention it. I'm like, I just trying to be good. And he's like, well, go in there and buy anything you want. What I forgot to realize is that I've already had everything from the fucking store. Like, every time I would go by a general store, I would buy as much shit as I could from it. Just to always be stocked up on supplies and never run out of shit in the middle of the woods. So, like, I went in there and I couldn't buy anything. Like, there was just nothing that I could buy. And I think I ended up buying, like, hair pomade or something.
Yeah, like something just... boring,
buy that because you can't buy nothing else because you already have everything. Like, I had all the horse tonics. I had everything. I'm like, okay, well, thank you, guy, for the hair pomade. That was $1, I guess. And then when I went to the gun store, and I happened to be in Valentine, I couldn't buy, like, the guns that I wanted. I already had all the other guns that were unlocked. I was like, the last gun that I have to buy, it's not unlocked yet. So, what's the point of this? You know what I mean? Okay. I think I ended up buying, like, ammunition for my gun or something stupid like that. I was like, I guess I'll buy that, and I'll clean my guns. And then I had to pay for most of that anyways. So, it was kind of stupid. But I guess for you it worked out, Eric.
Yeah, it worked out for me pretty well.
Yeah. The volcanic pistols are the best, though, in the whole game. The other ones suck.
I actually finally, while in cinematic mode, my horse did run into someone finally.
Okay.
So that was interesting. And then I had a big old warrant out for my arrest. I was wanted. Mm-hmm. Just because my horse ran over somebody and I didn't even see him. So they got me, they assault and stuff, and then I was wanted. So that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I got my a $50 bounty for running somebody over with the oil wagon, like in a mission, right? So, and then that one person kept following me, shooting at me, but not like just aggressively. So I was like, please don't blow the cart up. I've already had this thing blown up like 50 times, right? And I think it kind of carried through that mission. So they're like, just go pay the $50 bounty. I was like, all right, fine. Yeah. Just went and took care of that.
But people do react differently to you on how your morality is, how your honor, I think it's called honor, how your honor meter is, the way if it's red or white, they'll react differently to you. Because I was in the middle of the woods somewhere, and there was this dude up there camping, some Mexican guy. And I went up to him, and I'm thinking to myself, he's going to tell me to go away like they usually do and try to pull out his guns and shoot me, like they always do. I always have to end up shooting them because they pull out their guns, think they're tough, and I shoot them. And he's like, how's it going, partner? And then Archer's like, pretty good. He's like, you want to come and sit by the fire with me? And Archer's like, what? He's like, yeah, come sit by the fire with me. And I was like, this guy is like, is he trying to trap me? I thought it was a trap. I was like, there ain't no fucking way I'm getting off my horse. He's like, come on, come down here. He's like, not enough good people in this world or something. He's like, we got to trust each other. If you don't trust people, then how are you going to make friends and shit? And I was like, okay, yeah. And I kind of sat there by the fire, and he was telling me this story about how he, trusts people with his instincts or something. He's like, I can look in your eyes and tell you're a good man. You might have done some shit, but you're a good man.
Did he put his hand on his knee or neck or what?
And then he just he's like, all right, I'm going to take off now. You can stay here as long as you want. You can use this camp as much as you want. I'll be back later. And he took off on his horse and just left. I thought it was a trap the whole time. I had my.
You were out there with your guns, shaking,
ready.
Right?
I was ready. I didn't have my guns out, but I was ready to press LB as soon as he did something. I was like, this motherfucker's gonna someone's gonna jump out of the trees or something and try to stab me or something. No, it was just this dude being a nice person the whole game. I was like the only motherfucker I met in the whole game that was a legit nice person. Him.
You want to use my tent? There's my lotion. Go ahead. Help yourself to it.
Also, there's a guy who's looking for Gavin. Have you guys found Gavin?
Yeah. No, I was going to ask you about that last week. I forgot the name the guy was calling because when I first got to Denise, Gavin. And I'm like, okay, this guy's got to be around here somewhere, right? Because it's not a mission that you accept. But I'm I could not find that guy.
And then you'll run into him in different parts of the map. The first time I ran into him was in Rhodes. I was riding through Rhodes, and I heard this guy screaming. And then I stop, and I'm like, who are you looking for, partner? He's like, I'm looking for Gavin. Have you seen Gavin? And Arthur's like, no? What's he look like? He's my friend. He's my best friend. He's my best friend. I'm looking for Gavin. Where's Gavin?
I thought it was an Easter egg because I thought, well, there's nothing popping up on the screen.
And then I was riding through Saint Denis fucking way later in the game, and I'm riding by this guy, and he's the same dude. He's like, Gavin, where are you, Gavin? And Arthur's like, I see you still haven't found your friend, huh? Maybe he just left. Do you think about that? He's like, there's no way Gavin would have left. He's my best mate. There's just no way. I'm still going to find him. I'm going to find Gavin. And he just walks away looking for Gavin. He's like, I'm looking for Gavin. Gavin! He's just
Gavin! Yeah, he just kept going around. I was like, there's got to be a red dot on the screen somewhere. I can go find Gavin. And I thought, I bet you it's a dog or something. I got to find a dog, but yeah.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it is a dog. That's
because he doesn't say, right? He doesn't say what he looks like. He just says he's my best friend. That's what he looks like.
Yeah, my best friend. Dude. Yeah, that's what he says. My best friend Gavin. He wouldn't have left me. And I was like, okay, well,
invisible friend.
Whatever.
Yeah, that was good.
Anyways, what else have you been playing, Eric?
Playing a little Black Ops 4. I play here and there, and I was actually I watched that final game trailer for Battlefield 5, and dude, the game looks really good, and so that's when I was like, oh man, I'm amped to play a multiplayer game right now. So I put in Black Ops 4. Dude, that game looks like straight up trash after watching that trailer because it's nothing loads in. It just looks horrible. Yeah. But I am still, I play it here and there. I'm not too crazy. I'm still level 2.
Yeah.
And then I found out, I asked one of my buddies when I can create a class, and he's like, well, level 6.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the frick? And that's kind of stupid to freaking level up so high to create a class. Played a little bit of Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I don't know. That game didn't grab my attention like I thought it would. The first two were amazing, and I had a lot of fun playing them. It's just really hard to get into this one. I don't know why.
Do you think the story is bringing you down on it, like what we talked about as far as story goes?
I just think it's how it looks, how it plays. The story is kind of It's like they half-assed the story.
It's just too samey for me as the other ones.
Yeah.
They didn't innovate enough for me to there's no hook there. Like, okay, once again, Laura's trying to fucking find the secrets to this thing that she probably shouldn't be. And, the last two were pretty cool because she was stuck on an island. This one's she went to Mexico and then she went down to South America for whatever reason. She wants to be down there. And I don't know. I didn't like it.
Yeah, it's, that when the game was coming out, I heard a lot of reviews. Oh, it's just like the other ones. And I'm like, you know what? That's fine. Because the other ones were really sweet. And then I'm playing this one, and I'm just like, ugh. Ew. Ew. Ew.
I don't know. I enjoyed just exploring every inch
if I'm going to explore in a video game right now,
every little secret if I could.
If I'm going to explore in a video game right now, it's going to be Red Dead 2. Because it's better. It looks better. The story's better. And it's just overall, it's just a better game than Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which is really, like I said, is really
cool
sad.
To explore in Red Dead because you run into some weird shit. I found some pretty cool Easter eggs. I found one was a church. It was in the swamp area, and it was kind of right by my camp actually. And I was leaving my camp, and I saw this building, and it was a church building, but it was a mini church. The only way I could walk through the doors was if I crouched. And then you go in there, and you can actually walk into it, and it's a tiny little church. It has tiny little cross in the front, tiny little pews. It's a tiny little building, and Arthur does a little drawing because you can do a lot of drawings of these things that you find in the game. He'll kind of just pull out his journal and start drawing what he sees, and he drew down I found this tiny church for tiny people. I don't know what the hell it's doing out here. It's doing something. Yeah, that's kind of weird. They have there's tons of stuff like that in the game.
Did you guys try the gold bar glitch?
No, I
haven't
Googled to see where the gold bars are yet. I thought I don't want to.
It's in a city, or it's a burnt down community. It's crispy. Lamont, Lamo town or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You go to it. You go to the sheriff station, and then there's a little box. It's got a gold bar, and then it's got a horse stimulant or horse papers. And so what you got to do is, I failed at it. I didn't get it. I messed up. But what you got to do is you go up to that box. It's behind the desk, or it's under the desk in the sheriff station. You pull it out, open it. Now you want to be very careful when you do it because you can pick up the horse stimulant instead of the gold bar. So you want to make sure that Arthur is right next to the gold bar. And when you press X or A or whatever to pick it up, when he's crouched down, you pause it and you save it at that spot, and then you load it back up. And then it should load you pretty much right next to the sheriff station. You just walk right in, then you can tap it 30 times.
That's a lot of money, dude. That's a lot of gold. That's a lot of money you're gonna get because it's $500 per gold bar when you sell them.
I thought it was $200.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you might try doing it before they fix the glitch.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Well, I was talking to...
but I might try that.
The story already ended for me, kind of, so I'm good.
Get some upgrades going in the camp.
Yeah, like I said, the coolest upgrades in the camp are by hunting. You gotta go hunting a lot, dude, and that's the only way you're gonna get those upgrades. The cool ones, at least.
Yeah, go into the the trapper turning your furs, you know?
Not even the trapper. You turn him into Pearson, the cook, the fat.
Oh, right. You do get, I've noticed that you do get money for that as well. Because I went to pick up, I got a deer, and then I hit a random mission where the lady was caught under the horse. So I untrapped her from the horse. Then she's like, now could you be kind enough to give me a ride?
I always decline rides to people. I'm like,
and so I was like, no, I'm good, because I couldn't fit her and the deer on the back. So, but actually, I thought I was going to get negative. I did get a negative morale point for that or whatever, honor. Hey, but then she was like, you know what? At least she helped me get off from under the horse. So at least there's that. And then she walked away. So I was like, I actually felt pretty good about that. So
like I ran into lots of people in the woods that like this old lady was walking through the woods by herself. It was really creepy. It was like by a lake by herself in the middle of the night. Really old lady. She was walking by. And I was like, I haven't seen people in like fucking forever. What the fuck are you doing out here? And she's like, Hey, can you give me a ride home? My ankle's broken. I was like, hell no, get the hell away from me. And then I just took off. I took off as fast as I could. I was like, this is a witch or something. Like it's creepy looking, dude. Like she was just out in the middle of the woods in the night, like by herself.
Yeah.
I'm like, no way. I've learned my lesson from the crying lady. I ain't stopping for no weirdos in the middle of the night. Yeah. Cool stuff in the game. Lots of things to do. And Red Dead has so much to do, man. There's so much that I could still do in that game. Never-ending game.
Yeah, I played I decided to buy a couple indie games that were on sale this week.
Okay.
First one is Yet Another Zombie Defense.
That sounds like a stupid title.
It's a stupid title, but it's actually Xbox One enhanced.
Oh, whoa.
Because I thought, why should I buy this on Steam? It's on sale here, and it's 4K. Probably HDR as well. And it's pretty simple. 4-player co-op. You set up some traps, you earn money, you kill zombies. So I think I don't know if you change weapons, because I just had a pistol the entire time. And I think you start off with like 3 grenades, or that's all you ever get. I'm not 100% sure, but it goes through like, I think 15 or 20 waves. Or it could just be endless. But yeah, I didn't join anybody's game. I just left it open, and one other person joined. But I never made it past wave number 5. Because, man, they just come running out. And, like, you'll set up, like, these traps or that, and you can get, like, a turret gun, automatic turret gun. And then there might be, like, some kind of electrical fencing or something. But played that for a bit. It was okay. The other game that I really did enjoy, and the game I've wanted for a while, it's called Hgp Sentinel, and it reminds me of an old school arcade game that I used to play back in the actual arcades. And this is just like I would say it's a side-scrolling game that's like you're pretty much just kind of going from one end to the other, and you're just like shooting enemies the entire time. Well, basically, it'll be like this ship, and you'll have to, like, shoot all the, like, turrets off of that said ship, and then what happens, it'll be like, okay, now, like, here's the boss fight. And you can get, like, different power-ups that'll appear on the screen and basically just have more shots to your spaceship. And then it'll have, like, it'll just got to go through each level. And one thing I haven't figured out is, I think each level has like 5 stars, like whether you're playing it on normal, medium, or hard. Because I've gone through and like just tried to like burn through it really quick and fish it, but it'll say you only got like maybe 2 out of 5 stars. So I don't know if you just have to stay in the game longer, and because I think enemies will just keep reappearing. Maybe not so much the boss, but the enemies that are actually on the screen. But yeah, check this out. It's on Xbox. It's been on Steam. It's probably on PS4 as well. Pretty cool.
All right. Eric, you got a couple more games to talk about?
Yeah. I was going to play some Spiderman today, and I had some kind of update on it. So I played a little bit of God of War. I started the new game plus for it, finally. Gosh, that game, dude. I love that game.
What does the new game plus do? What does it add? Or
you can play a new game start the story over, but with all your old gear and everything. So like the monsters will all be like level 5. That's what I ran into. I ran into level 5 monsters. I only played for a little bit because I just was waiting for Spider-Man to get done. But yeah, I had all my gear, and the axe was, all upgraded. Everything was upgraded the way I had it. So that's about really all that it changes. And then Atreus, his gear's upgraded too, from whatever you left it at or whatever you gave him. So that's about it, really.
Okay.
And then Spider-Man got done. I started playing that. And yeah, that game looks great too. I'm almost done with it though.
Awesome.
Cool.
Awesome.
Spider-Man.
That's it. So we played, guys.
Hey, I played one more, Jesus, actually. This is on Steam for the PC machines, man.
Oh, PC machines.
Oh, jeez.
This weekend it's got some good free-to-play games that are, I forgot the developer, but the first one is called Scriptum, and I think that's the game we were referring to that Steve Moore from Belgium played, or was referring to as far as like a, how do I say it, something more closer to history when it comes to like a Battlefield type style game. And I don't know if this is still like in early access. I think it's actually out now. It's developed by Periscope Games. And unfortunately, well, for me, it doesn't have controller support, but I did try a hand at it. But I'm just going to read like a little bit of what it just says here when it says about this game. When it's a World War II simulation game focusing on historic accuracy, large-scale battle, difficult learning curve, and an intense need for cohesion. It talks about communication, teamwork, things like that. I watched a little bit of this on Steam. I can tell you just about my experience of what I had today was once I loaded in and you kind of all like come out at the same time as far as like, on your, I think you could decide where you want to appear on the map or, and immediately like I'm getting shot by my own teammates, like I can just see everything kind of written down in Russian. I was like, gee, thanks guys. Thanks a lot. But then I came back and was like just kind of running towards like a set of vehicles. I noticed you can drive like 20 different vehicles, which was pretty cool. Like there was plenty of vehicles to drive, like as far as tanks and shit like that. Any tank style, but I couldn't figure out how to actually get into them. So I just kind of ran down to where the fight was and died immediately. But it actually looks pretty good. I wouldn't say it looks like Battlefield 5 by any means, but just playing on my GTX 1060, it looks fine, and it played well as well. So I like the feeling of the guns, man. They do give that realistic feel to them.
Yeah, I heard the game's a lot like a simulation of World War II or whatever.
Yeah.
Awesome. I know Steve really likes it.
Yeah, I can see why, especially with the guns look as well, rifles.
Speaking of graphics cards, Battlefield 5 on a GTX 2080 Ti will have ray tracing capabilities. So if you're a PC gamer and you have a 2080 Ti, you can take advantage of the new ray tracing technology available only on the GTX 2080 Ti.
Yeah, and I know we talked about that on the show. I vaguely remember what that actually is. Ray tracing. Amazing. Watching that on.
Ray tracing is the future, dude.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. It's like the teraflops. First it was teraflops, then it was Ps, then it was Ks, then it was HDR. Now it's ray tracing.
Now it's ray tracing. Yep. Yeah. I remember watching that show on the PC Gamer.
Yeah.
The stream.
Ray tracing.
And the one other game that's actually free to play this weekend is, I think it's called Squad. I know that game's been out for quite a while now. Not as popular as like your Battlefield game, but another kind of realistic type style game that needs a lot of communication between you and your teammates.
Interesting. How do you find that communication on a PC? Like people are really communicating, or are they just being loners?
So again, from just watching Twitch streams, they're all using their own Discord thing.
So
They've got actually
their own Discord, and they invite people from the friends list to play with them, and hey, let's get on Discord and chat and play this game.
Yeah, because I've seen those Discords, man, and they're just like, all right, you're in number 2. All right, get in number 2, chat number 2, or whatever it is, audio 2, and then they're all in there together, man, 8, 10, 12 people, just like you would like Xbox Live. So
awesome.
It seemed to work pretty good. But again, that's watching like a stream of a professional, kind of.
Well, that seems to me that if you're a PC gamer that plays these types of games, you're going to have a community that you go to, that you play with.
Yeah.
It's just normal, right? Even Xbox gamers do that, or PlayStation gamers. We all tend to have the group of people that we play with, and what types of games we play with those certain people. For example, like I play different games like PUBG and stuff, and even Call of Duty, and I'll have my different sets of people that I know, inviting them. I'll get to play a certain game with them. Like if I'm playing with Blue Yeti, I'll be playing PUBG. If I'm playing with Mirza, I'll be playing PUBG. If I'm playing with Alan, I'll probably be playing stupid ass Ghost Recon or PUBG or something like that. You know what I mean? Or if I'm playing with Wingman, I'll be playing Call of Duty. It's just different people like different games,
Yeah, and I'm still a noob at this, but one of the things that I notice, like every time I fire up any kind of multiplayer game, even non-multiplayer games on Steam, it'll even let me know, like, hey, this has a Discord overlay. And I'm like, are they talking about for streaming, or are they talking about, like, something that's going to do with the fact that I'm playing, actually in the game with that person? So it seems like it's all come together for Discord. And, of course, you have that app installed, and it's even got its own store now, and you can get Turbo, where you get free games every month, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's a lot like a subscription type thing where you're gonna get games, a lot like Twitch Prime almost, where you're gonna get games for being a subscriber to this service. Man, it seems like everyone's just giving away free games of some kind somewhere. If you're subscribing to something,
I've got like
they're not technically free.
Games now on
they're not free because you're subscribing to it, so just keep that in mind. But I mean, I guess technically they're free because you're not paying for the actual full game or whatever.
Right. And what's kind of weird about that Amazon thing isn't it? You only have that option for $100 a month, like a one-time fee of $100, right? $99.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, a lot of people did it for, because they want to get their packages delivered at their home, and then they can take advantage of. I think you get one free audiobook, and you get these, like, I would just call them random indie games. I usually log in every other week, and I'll see, like, they'll give out something for credits for, like, Neverwinter. That's a free-to-play game, or Warframe. You'll get these in-game credits that you can spend. But then you will get, like, an actual indie game. Some that are actually, like, pretty good. So, like SteamWorld Dig and SteamWorld Dig 2 and a few others. Like, obviously nothing from a large publisher, but yeah, I'm curious to see what Discord has to offer, or, what they're going to do. Because I know my kids inquired about it, like, oh, I want to get this Nitro thing, Dad, so.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we're just talking about Discord, Eric. Welcome back.
Yeah, sorry, my internet's been going in and out lately.
Oh,
I gotta try to fix it. I knew it was gonna.
You are the cable guy, so you should fix it.
And I need to, but I
pull out your tools and just climb up to the cable thing and fix it.
I know.
Did I ever tell you Eric used to do that? I would ever tell you, Eric, like, I used to have this my neighbor. Well, when I used to live in a trailer park, she wore, like, she was basically a tomboy, and she didn't need, like, those, like, spikes to put on her feet, man. She would just climb up the pole, with her tennis shoes,
Yeah, that's stupid.
Climb up to the top, and I'm like, I'd be over there like, don't get electrocuted, and she just opened the box up and start turning switches, and everybody's got free cable now.
Everyone gonna get free cable today, boy.
And then she climbed down, and everybody would cheer.
Yeah, the hero of the trailer park. That's what it's called.
Yeah. She'd put the little plastic ring back on to make it look like it wasn't tampered with. So
yeah, no, I have. There's a loose connection somewhere, and I know it's not up at the pole because I ran all new lines throughout my house. So it's got to be somewhere. It's got to be the jumper to my modem.
You didn't run them right. You didn't run them right.
I guess not. But talking about Discord, I downloaded that app as I was going to join your guys' Discord.
Well, there's a link in our show notes.
Hello.
We have it.
Yeah.
Hello.
Everybody's got one now.
Anyways, guys and girls, we'll take a quick break and come back after this break with some news. Lots of news to talk about this week, including XO 18, lots of Game Pass games, and tons more. So we'll be back after this musical break with some news.
We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the news. It's news time!
News machine is booting up.
Talk about some news here. XO 18, Microsoft's Xbox fan event, happened in Mexico City today. I started off at 1 p.m. That's when the event kicked off on Mixer. And lots of things happened. I mean, we got lots of talk from people from Xbox Studios, Larry, Phil, they were all there hanging out. Cool stuff, talking to the fans and talking to us, the viewers, about different things happening over at Xbox and different stuff happening with Game Pass and Microsoft in general. Real quick, right off the bat, this kind of was revealed at the end of the show, but Microsoft acquired two new developers into the Microsoft Studios family. They bought inXile and Obsidian Entertainment. Both of these companies are known for their RPG and big games that they've made like that. They're kind of indie developers, but they've done some great games. For example, Obsidian has worked on Fallout New Vegas, and they've worked on other major titles as well. And I personally think it's a good move on their end. They're acquiring more studios. They're obviously going to invest in their game library. And I think in 2 years, we're going to see, like, for example, E3, not 2019, but E3 2020, 2021, we're going to see a lot of these studios coming out on stage at E3 and talking about, hey, you remember they bought us a couple years ago? This is what we've been working on, and they're going to unveil some crazy games, I think, and I think it's going to be incredible for the Xbox fan base to see a company they love, Microsoft Studios come out with some great-looking exclusives, and I think it's going to be a good move for Microsoft in the end. Think about how many studios Microsoft has bought this year already. They bought 7 altogether. That's a lot, dude.
That's a lot, yeah.
For a company to just buy 7 studios, that's a big investment in your gaming portfolio. And they've invested a lot of studios are known for their RPG game making, which is kind of incredible. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they have.
Yeah, and I've been seeing complaints from I think from fans, from different, I don't know, I just want to say from people that either like or love Xbox, what have they been saying, over the past couple of years, when, especially when they say, well, they don't have exclusives because they don't have any, the studios or enough of them, a variety, like compare it to PlayStation. And now you don't hear them saying that because now Xbox has those. Microsoft just acquired those studios. Jesus, I want to know your reaction to what they said was one of the things they made very clear. And I didn't watch the entire conference, but they said, look, we want to keep these studios unique and basically let them work on their own. Obviously, they'll have more funds available, but one of the things they said is, they want to keep them doing what they love doing, and not try and interfere. That's what their point was. Forgot the gentleman's name.
I like that move. I think that's an incredible thing to do, you know, to buy a studio and not force them in a certain direction. And even like, I forget who it was. It was Microsoft's head of studios. I forget his name, but he was saying that
it wasn't Booty, right? It was the other guy.
It was Booty, actually. It was him. Yeah. So he was on stage and he was saying how, you know, like, we know these two studios have kind of worked on like the same kind of titles. You know, we get that they both work on RPGs and shit like that, but we're not gonna merge them. He said that specifically to like, we're not gonna put them together. We're not gonna make them into one studio. We're gonna keep them separate.
Yeah.
And we're gonna give them independent freedom, like creative freedom, so they can work on what they feel like working on. We're not gonna force them to work on something they don't want to work on. Which could be a good thing or a bad thing. Because they could work on a game that they think is a great game and then it turns out to be shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I hope that they do realize that they don't want to work on all these games that could end up being like shit. Like, yeah, give them creative freedom, but don't give me a lame game. If it turns out that like, hey, Turn 10 needs help with this, or Playground Games needs help with this over here, that they can, hopefully they can tell like the other studios, hey, these guys need help with this section of the game, help them make this section of the game. And of course they're going to do that because they're all in the same, you know, Microsoft Studios brand. So hopefully they're going to use each other's tech and each other's knowledge and expertise and all that stuff to make great games. I just hope they don't go into this crazy mode where they're just like, oh, we got to make all these games, let's pump out games, and then they just start releasing crappy games and like kind of indie titles. You know what I mean? I don't want indie titles. I want AAA big exclusives. I don't want a bunch of like. It's cool to have indie titles. I'm not saying indie games are bad.
Maybe we will. Maybe I mean that's. I just don't want referring to. Well, that's what they're maybe not with Obsidian, but that other the InXile company. You know,
they could help with Fable 3.
Yeah,
or Fable or whatever.
Yeah, but I don't want indie titles. I'm just indie titles to me are more genuine and more fun when a person in a fucking garage is making them, not when big studios are making them. When big studios decide to make indie titles, you could definitely see the cutting corners just to save money on the budget. I just hate that from them.
Okay, Jesus, you know what I say? Be careful what you wish for, because I know what you're saying. You know, they may not be for you, but I mean, I guess I'm in the same ways think in the same ways you are, as far as I hope they take InXile and just kind of leave them indie as much as they can possibly be. So yeah, it could be Xbox enhanced, of course, and it'll have the HDR, but leave it indie. It doesn't need to have, you know, $10 million pumped into that game to have, you know, to be so much more added to the game, you know? I guess I do want to kind of keep it sacred.
Don't force them to do something, but at the same time, if you realize, like, what the fuck are they making? What the fuck is this garbage?
Just don't. I don't release it. I don't want to make the same mistakes they did with Scalebound and the mistakes they've been making with Crackdown 3. Like Microsoft's like pushing this game and it's clearly not ready. Like you guys have been saying, give studios time to make games, and if it takes 5 years, it takes 5 years.
Yeah.
Make a good game.
You know, there was nobody pushing Rockstar North and Rockstar San Diego and all those studios to make Red Dead. You know, they're always like, look, man, we're trying to make this. Give us the fucking time we need. And they obviously took a long time to make that game. So, I'm saying, and it turned out to be a masterpiece. Same with God of War. God of War took them a long time to make.
Long time. Yeah.
They actually got denied the first time.
Yeah, they're like,
and then they made like concept, and then they're like, okay, go for it.
Yeah. So like, don't, you know, hopefully they come out with some great titles, and I think they will. And I think, like I said, a couple years from now, E3 2020 is when we're going to start seeing trailers, teaser trailers, announcements. And it's going to be a great time because that's the same year that I believe the new Xbox is going to come out. I don't think it'll be out next year. I think it's going to be out 2020. And I think that's when we're going to see, like, here's what the box looks like, here's the price, and here's the games. And it's going to be crazy, I think.
Yeah.
But not to say, I think Sony's going to come out the same year, and I think Sony's going to be like, here's the box, here's our games, and here's this. And I think it's going to be great competition for both companies. And if you're an owner of both of them or either one, you're going to be happy with what you buy. Obviously, Sony has been killing it, you know, recently with crazy exclusives, amazing games. And it seems like to me people have gotten away from fuck the resolutions and all that. The games look great, right? Make the game fun. That's what matters. And I think Sony realized that. They're like, we don't have the power anymore. Let's just make the games good. So they've been focusing on that, and it's worked out great for them. But not to say, older games that they made were great looking too. Even though they had the power, they still look great, and they ran great, and they played great. They had great gameplay. They were just fun stories. They were immersive stories. The Last of Us was like an incredible story, man. That thing pulled me in from the beginning, and I loved every single moment of it. I wanted to know what's going to happen next. So I'm looking forward to what they're going to do with all these studios now.
Who was the studio that did God of War? You remember?
Sony Santa Monica.
Okay, it was their own Santa Monica studio. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an in-house studio. So, cool stuff. I'm excited to see what else Microsoft does here. If they're going to acquire more studios or just keep these. Because now they have, 15 studios or 13 studios or something like that. Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. I don't know how many does Sony have? Probably around the same, right?
I'm not sure.
Probably around the same, yeah.
See here. Sony games.
Because they got Sony Santa Monica. They got Sucker Punch. I don't know if you can count Insomnia games. I don't know.
No,
if you
I
can
think they're
count
still
them.
separate, aren't they?
Yeah, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah.
So they're neck and neck as far
Japan
as
Studios.
Yeah.
They got they got Japan Studio, they got XDev, Polyphony Digital, Manchester Studio, London Studios, Media Molecule, Guerrilla Games.
Guerrilla, yep.
Pixelopus, San Diego Studios, Sucker Punch, Ben Studios, Santa Monica Studios, and Naughty Dog. So obviously they got.
Oh yeah, Naughty Dog. Yeah, they got big hitters, man. They got some really good studios, and those big studios are what making PlayStation awesome with their single player games.
Definitely,
Yeah.
and I agree. And they're going to continue to kill it. I think.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
In other news that came out for XO18 for Game Pass, they've announced 14 new games, and some of the big hitters, of course, are now going to release here in the next week, couple days from now. PUBG will be available on Game Pass. I think that's a good move for PUBG and PlayerUnknown's, those guys, over there in Korea. That's a great move for them. Get on Game Pass, increase your player base. Rumor has it now that they've locked in a release date for the PlayStation system as well. And,
Yes.
And rumor has it that they might come out free to play on the PlayStation.
Huh. Yeah, I think at this point we talked about on the show didn't we even kind of predict that in a way, because we said this game just needs to be free to play.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
At this point, because with Call of Duty out there, yeah.
Yeah, with Call of Duty out there, with Fortnite just killing it left and right, it's a great move. Coming out free on Game Pass. Well, you still got to pay for Game Pass, but you know what I mean. You're paying for the subscription of 100 games, or 100 plus at this point. But it's coming out on Game Pass, and it's coming out hopefully next month on PlayStation. It's going to be a great move for them, and I think they're going to see their player base increase quite a bit when they release on PlayStation.
You think so?
And yeah, I definitely think so. They
I was just gonna
that.
I was just gonna say that they weren't. I mean, I feel like Fortnite and Call of Duty that's the big battle royale.
Right now it is,
games
but
right now.
it hasn't been released on PlayStation yet. And I think PlayStation users are going to be curious of what it is and how it plays and etc. And some people are going to like it. They're going to obviously like it. The game is very different from Call of Duty, very different from Fortnite, very different from those games. Even from DayZ or H1Z1 that they've been playing on PlayStation, that game is way different from those. And I think some people are gonna like it. I like PUBG because at times it makes you think more. It's more tactical, and you're more playing slower and taking your time. It makes the kills really worth it when you actually get a kill. You're like, yeah, I feel good. I got a kill for once. Call Call of Duty is just more fast-paced, more run and gun. Kills are easier to get, way easier to get. But I think you're going to see a huge increase in their player base. And on top of that, they got a new map released in December as well. They got that snow map.
Yeah, it's got its PC player base. It's got its Xbox. Obviously, so many people play that or committed to that.
Yeah.
So this would be great for people that ever complain that I don't have the money to buy it but I got Game Pass. So hey, there you go.
Game Pass. Other games that have been announced for Game Pass as well as Void Bastards. This game looked pretty interesting. I like the art style. The art style was very cartoony. It looked like a lot like Borderlands in a way, but way more cartoony than Borderlands. It looked like a cartoon. And you're playing in I think it was space or something, and you're just shooting these fucking enemies. And it seems pretty cool. I think it had co-op on it, 4-player co-op. It's coming to Game Pass on launch date. I didn't get a launch date on that. Maybe they announced it, maybe they didn't. I'm not 100% sure when that's going to be released, but they did say it's going to be released with the release date on Game Pass. Other games coming out for Game Pass, of course, Crackdown 3 coming out February 15th now. We got a locked-in date. They apparently moved it up before the 22nd there. Good move on them. Crackdown 3, they unveiled their new multiplayer mode. It looked cool, man. Complete destruction, available on all the Xbox platforms. Because they're going to use the power of the cloud, they said that it doesn't matter what system you play it on. When something's getting destroyed in the game and something's blowing up, say a building is coming down in the multiplayer, all the players in that match are able to see the same effects happening on that building and seeing it collapse the same way, thanks to the Azure servers and the cloud servers that Microsoft is using to power that game. Pretty interesting how they did that. It's going to be a 5v5 multiplayer. Different modes. They said they're going to have like Team Deathmatch, an orb catching one, domination, different things like that. Looks cool. One thing that I didn't like about the multiplayer reveal was they were showing this person jumping around, doing the killing and shooting people. But as they were locking on to the enemy was kind of like sliding or flying behind a building. The person was still locked onto them behind the building, like the auto aim was very generous. Like you were still locked onto the person as they were flying behind a building. And I'm thinking to myself, they're gonna have to nerf that. There's no way that's gonna be fair. Like someone.
Oh, you were talking about like a versus type mode of another human player.
These people were shooting each other. It looked like Team Deathmatch or some shit.
Oh, okay.
And the person was shooting at somebody. The other person literally ran behind a fucking building. And the gun was following that person because they were holding LT. They were locked onto them. So the gun was just following that person until they got to the other side of the building.
Smart bullets.
When they got to the other side of the building, the gun was still locked onto them, and they still shot at them and just killed them. And I was thinking to myself, that looks kind of cheap. Like, why would I want a gun that I could just hold left trigger and just lock onto people for the whole match? Because I'm just going to hold it and lock onto you forever. It made no sense. Maybe it makes sense for the multiplayer for the type of game it is. I just don't like that. So hopefully they change that. I think they're going to nerf that. But who knows? Maybe it'll be there by launch. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. Other games they've announced for Game Pass, of course, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice coming to Game Pass December. Yeah. Next month, Hellblade will be available on Game Pass. Of course, Ninja Theory was a studio Microsoft bought earlier this year, so it makes sense. Put it on Game Pass. It's going to get a lot of new players to experience that game, and it's going to be fun, I think. I can't feel bummed about it because I paid the full price for that game and still haven't beat it. So I'm like, fuck, like I wasted my money on that. But whatever, if you haven't played it, play it on Game Pass next month. It looks incredible.
It's a great game. Great
looking game. It's fun. I think you'll like it. A lot of you will like it. Play with headphones on. Just a heads up. Play with headphones on. Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori Will of the Wisp are coming to Game Pass. First of all, Ori and the Blind Forest or whatever, that game comes out next month for Game Pass. Coming out right away. The enhanced edition, actually. You're going to get the full remastered or HD version or whatever the fuck they call it. Complete edition, I think. That's coming out on Game Pass with Xbox One X enhancements, so you get to play that. And Will of the Wisp is coming next year. They said they didn't give a release date, but it's coming next year, 2019, on Game Pass on release day. That's fucking incredible. I'm looking forward to playing this game. I never played it, so people are saying good things about it. I will check it out when it comes to Game Pass. And what else?
Kingdom something.
Oh yeah, some Kingdom game. Apparently, people were really hyped about it. Whatever. Other thing that's coming out, Zed Hunter update for State of Decay 2. State of Decay 2 is getting new weapons. As a crossbow, you get a crossbow now. New vehicles, new vehicle upgrades, new ways to play the game, they said. It's called the Zed Hunter DLC update, coming out November 15th for everyone for free.
Okay, yeah, they just said stay tuned for more details, I thought.
Right. They said free for everyone. So it's kind of weird how...
Might have been another piece of news related to...
I kind of feel bad for people that paid for the season pass for this game, because it's like, why the fuck is this free, when I paid for a season pass? But hey, maybe they need more players to come back to the game. It'll definitely pull me back into it. I think the crossbow edition looks cool.
Yeah,
killing
that's
zombies in silence, and they said, like, if you shoot a zombie with the crossbow and you shoot him a few times with it, once you kill it, you can run up to the zombie and then pull out your crossbows and get them back, like your little arrows or whatever. If they didn't break, you can get them back, so you don't have to craft more. That's pretty cool. And tons of other games that are just going to release for Game Pass. Tons of games, tons of stuff. Xbox One X is going down in price. They set to $399.99 for Black Friday. It's going to be included with Game Pass and certain titles of the games. Like, there's different bundles. They have tons of bundles. They have Madden bundles, Fortnite bundles, Minecraft bundles, all this other shit. Like, it's crazy. Minecraft has a new huge update coming out as well. It's called the Minecraft Universe. Minecraft Universe is going to add tons of new stuff to the game. For example, vehicles. People can drive like a car in Minecraft.
Okay.
And then they're going to have...
I see a lot of griefing in that, You shot my tires, you blew up my vehicle.
They look like Hummers and Jeeps and like limos and Lamborghinis, sports cars. They look like sports cars and just... They look Minecrafty. They look blocky, of course, as Minecraft. But they also have a new like mansion rich person DLC where like you own a mansion, you fucking have a limo. I guess. I don't know what the fuck universe is.
Oh.
Like, they say that Minecraft universe goes across most platforms. And anything you do in the universe, you can see it in other platforms that you play the game on. It's just on a server and a platform. It's on a server, so like you can play it on any platform and it can see the same effects going across the entire game from all the players.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool, I think. I wonder if there's going to be a cap on how many people can play on a server. I wouldn't doubt it. But who knows? Maybe it's just Minecraft universe is like an MMO almost for Minecraft. It's pretty cool.
Right. It just kind of brings me back to, what was it? Was it Lego Universe or something? I think that's what it was called. Something in that same
way. So that looked fucking interesting. And I thought that, man, as soon as I saw it, I was like, I have to buy that DLC for my kid. She's going to love that DLC.
One other game I wanted to mention that's coming to Game Pass was Hello Neighbor.
Oh yeah, and then the new Hello Neighbor game coming out too. Strange Neighbor or something like that. Is it what it's called?
I haven't heard of that. I didn't know it was like
a stranger neighbor or weird neighbor or something like that. Something weird, but it's like a spooky based Hello Neighbor where you actually get to play the game co-op with three other people. So it's 4 people going through like a house that's like is creepy themed. So like
a lot of
spider
screaming.
webs.
I can hear it already.
Blood and knives and weird shit everywhere, and you got to figure out what's going on in the house because you have a weird neighbor. Apparently.
That would be cool because like in Hello Neighbor, if you get caught, it's like okay, like it's almost like a reload checkpoint type of thing, right? It depends on what happens. Where in this one, that may not happen. Maybe the game just keeps going. That's kind of cool. Yeah, that would be neat to see.
Yeah. So I mean. Lots of cool stuff. They obviously showed tons of PUBG on the videos that they were showing there, and then they had a really cool trailer that they showed in the middle of the whole event. It was this cool like montage of different games like Assassin's Creed, Red Dead, Battlefield, Gears of War, Halo, Minecraft. They just had like all these games showing around, like these like trailers, cool trailer, and the whole time I was thinking to myself, why are you showing me a trailer for the Xbox when if I'm watching this, I'm probably an Xbox fan that already owns an Xbox? Why don't you run these types of ads on a television channel? Like, I always see Sony trailers like this on TV where Sony is showing off like God of War, and then they'll show off like Monster Hunter, and then they'll show off like Spiderman, and they'll have a montage of their exclusives, right? Like big exclusives for Sony. They'll have like this huge montage, and they'll say like PlayStation available only on PlayStation.
Well, they do.
Play now. And I never see Xbox ads. Ever see?
I don't
Xbox
watch
ads.
TV, but if I'm walking by, like they show it on AMC, like The Walking Dead.
Okay.
Like they'll do. It's pretty much all Xbox commercials. Well, okay, there's just no Sony. There's a few other TV shows that I've seen that do the same thing.
They just need more ads. I'm thinking to myself like, this ad is fucking cool because they had like all these things, most powerful console in the world, and they had like another stat that said like the only console that does true 4K. Like they had all these quotes from like different websites and like I'm thinking to myself like, this looks like a cool ass commercial. Like this would make me want to buy an Xbox if I was just a small person, but I would never see this on TV.
I do see more PlayStation ads than Microsoft. What were you gonna say, Eric?
Oh, I saw Fallout 76 trailers today while I was streaming football on an app.
For what did it say? Like, was it tied to a console?
Just Xbox.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, Bethesda, they mainly.
Well, yeah, they're good friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't like Sony. I don't think Bethesda does. But
yeah.
Xbox. But, of course, the other big news was the Black Friday deal. It's $100 off an Xbox One console.
The X, right?
Yeah, the X is $100 off. I don't know if the other ones are $100 off. I'm pretty sure they're going to have deals for those too. They'll probably be $50 off or something.
Right, off the S and day one, kind of. Yeah,
well, they don't sell the launch console anymore. They don't really advertise that anymore.
Yeah. Just go buy a used one.
You can save $10 on Xbox controllers. They said they're going to be $10 off all the controllers across the system.
Cool. What are they normally? $39, man.
$60.
Okay.
And they're going to have a bunch of game discounts. 50% off PUBG, or not PUBG, but like other titles. I think Forza was 50% off. A lot of games are 50% off, and then some are going to be 35% off. And these are all going to be available digital and physical at the Microsoft Store if you don't like to buy digital games. And I'm sure like other stores are going to have like their own types of sales. I wonder if they're going to be the same amount. But I mean, I know PUBG is 35% off. City Decay 2 is 35% off. But they're also available on Game Pass. So,
I've got a piece of news here for Brink. Warface gets a Battle Royale mode and a new raid.
Yeah. So there's that. The Warframe, you mean? There's Warface and Warframe. There's two different games.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's Warface I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Warface is a game that I've played. It's like a military shooter game, like Call of Duty almost, Battlefield type game where you're shooting in an army type thing setting. Yeah, that has a new Battle Royale mode that came out like last week or so. And then Warframe is that space alien game that's free to play. That's pretty good from everything I hear. Of course, Forza announced their new Fortune Island expansion. Yeah. And that will be available for $35 if you buy the season pass. You get 2 expansions for $35. Yeah. Sea of Thieves announced their new battle, like you could battle rival crews in this new thing called The Arena. It's a new update for Sea of Thieves. It's almost like Battle Royale. It looks like you're going to have like a bunch of ships in a little area. And you got to fight it out with other people. See who wins.
Nice.
And you can actually get off of your ship and shoot each other onto each other's ships and knife fight people and all kinds of cool
There you go. Sword fights.
Yeah, cool. That's going to be pretty cool, I think. I think that's going to be a fun update. What else? What other games?
I think Crackdown 1, did you mention that it was free, or did that come to Game Pass, or is it just kind of a free deal?
I don't know.
Going forward
I
today.
think it's going to be free, or it's going to come to Game Pass or something. Shadow of the Tomb Raider announced their first DLC. It's called The Forge, and it's going to have new weapons and new attack modes and new modes in general. They're going to have like a time, what's that shit called? Time attack mode and experience attack.
Oh, yeah.
We got like traverse certain things and hit these certain orbs and get points, and then your friend has to run through the same thing and try to beat your score. There's that. Capcom showed off their Devil May Cry 5 shit. And then the big news came about Microsoft's keyboard and mouse support. Bunch of games having keyboard and mouse. support. Fortnite is one of them. Warframe is one of them. Warface is one of them. Bomber Crew is one of them. Lots of games getting keyboard and mouse support. And I'm kind of excited for that. What I liked was when Fortnite came out and announced this, they said, look, we understand your worries about getting paired up, fighting against people with keyboard and mouse if you're using a controller. And they said, we're going to keep you separated. If you're using a keyboard and mouse, you're going to only play with people that are using keyboard and mouse. So you're going to be playing with PC players and gamers on like the PlayStation that are using keyboard and mouse. You're only going to play against them. If you're using a controller, you're going to still play with people that are using controllers. That's pretty cool. I like the way they're doing that, and that's how most games should do it.
I agree. Because you're going to get wrecked, man, if you're just going to play with a controller. Unless you're super good with a controller, you've got all your settings up high. Maybe you'll have a chance.
For anyone who's interested in playing with keyboard and mouse on all these games that were announced for it, I think they said it was like 15 games are going to get it day one. Comes out November 15th. Next Wednesday, you're going to be able to play all these games with keyboard and mouse. Just plug in a keyboard, plug in a mouse. And then Razer came out and announced that they have a partnership with Microsoft, and they're working on their keyboard and mouse as we speak. And they will unveil their new keyboard and mouse for the Xbox platform at CES 2019. That's the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. So 2019 is when you get to see those accessories come out. That's in January. It really happens really early in the year. So January 2019 in Vegas.
What do you think? Are you just gonna get on there with your keyboard and mouse? Just wreck them? Call of Duty?
Nope.
Style?
No way. There's no way, dude. I've been too used to controller. There's no way I can.
Eric?
It's gonna take for a learning keyboard.
We're just gonna stick with our old controllers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll keep my keyboard and mouse hooked up to my PC.
More games coming out for indie for the Xbox. Tunic, Ooblets, Winter of Arcade coming out to the Xbox ID program. And ID at Xbox, they say that they now have over 1,000 titles for that system. And it says here, Microsoft will donate $5 of Xbox products for every photo shared on social media about what gaming together means. So basically they said, pick a picture, any picture of yourself gaming with people online, of yourself gaming with your kids, of yourself gaming with friends on a couch. Take a photo, go to Twitter or Facebook, and use the hashtag #GiveWithXbox. And for every photo that they see on social media with that hashtag, they will donate $5 of products for different charities. For example, Child's Play, which helps children in hospitals that are sick get consoles and gaming stuff to get distracted with. Gamers Outreach, that helps disabled gamers for different reasons get gaming supplies. Special Effect, and Operation Supply Drop, that helps veterans across the seas and get that stuff. So cool stuff. So go take pictures, guys. It's not that hard. Just take a fucking picture of yourself playing a game.
We're all on Twitter, right, Eric?
That is right.
Just take a picture, use it. They said it could be any picture. It could be a picture of you, picture of yourself gaming. Just give with Xbox, and they're going to use that hashtag to give away $5 worth of supplies for these charities. That's pretty incredible. I think it's going to be awesome. But yeah, lots of news came out this week for that. Today, in general, came out. And there was actually a new game that was released today on Game Pass. I think it was called Thieves of Thieves.
Yeah.
Something like that. It looked really cool. I like the art style of it. I can't wait to check it out. It came out today, available on Game Pass now. So there's that. It looks like a side-scroller made by the people who made The Wolf Among Us. Came out today. So I'm like, I fucking like The Wolf Among Us. I might like this game.
Season 1. Okay. Downloading that now.
Oh, okay.
Hey, that was quick.
Done.
Fuck, damn.
You sold him.
Oh, man.
That didn't take much.
But yeah, there's that. That's most of the Xbox Xo 18 news that I have. for you guys. What do you guys think of it? Did you guys watch it? Did you guys like it? I thought it was fucking cool.
I wasn't able to watch it. I had to work today. I would have probably loved to watch it. I'll probably watch it later, though.
It was pretty cool looking. It reminded me like the PlayStation Experience shit, where like they just have Xbox stuff everywhere. It looked like E3 almost. Which is like, what are we talking about now? Let's talk about this, and boom, boom, boom. They're just talking games left and right. And
yeah,
nice.
I missed most of it, so I was like just busy.
Nothing about Halo?
And playing Red Dead at the same time.
No Halo, no Gears of War, none of that.
Man.
Which I thought was kind of weird. I thought they would have said something about Gears of War 5 since it's coming out next year.
Anything about
Eric?
Scalebound?
Yeah.
Are they bringing it back?
Yeah.
What?
Eric, you mentioned something about Forza Horizon 4, didn't you? Something about Thunder?
Oh, they added Thunder to the
Oh,
game.
gosh. I thought it was some kind of DLC. They actually added real Thunder. Okay.
It might have been DLC.
No, there is
but-
DLC coming out. Like I told you, there's going to be a new expansion. There's a new island, new map.
And there's Thunder and Lightning gonna be in it.
Speaking of Thunder and Lightning, they had a pretty cool trailer that makes me kind of want to buy Just Cause 4. They showed Just Cause 4.
Yeah, that was a good trailer.
That trailer was fucking sick. It was cool, man. I loved the fuck out of that trailer.
I like how he's just there to fuck with the tornado.
Yeah, he's
that
just
was
like
fun.
fucking going. It just shows him going to different areas of the map, just like fucking outrunning a sandstorm and hooking up to cars and flying through the air and hooked up to a car. I was like, holy shit, this looks fucking cool. Oh man, it looked fun.
You wouldn't even say Rico's escaping the sandstorm. He's just like, well, I'm just going to leave this area. How about that?
Yeah, just fucking cool. Cool stuff. Xbox, I liked it. Hopefully they do another XO next year and XO 19 somewhere else around the world.
Don't they do them every couple years? I think.
Well, they said they used to do them every year almost, and then they would do them in different locations, and hopefully they continue doing that. Hopefully next year we'll get a new one, or maybe in 2020 we'll get another one. I just hope they do it yearly. Sony did it yearly for a while there. The PlayStation Experience.
They've been in San Francisco a couple times.
Why not? Just do them around the world. Just fucking one day we'll go to Paris, one day we'll go to Hong Kong, one day we'll go to Japan. Just do them everywhere. Why not?
Heck yeah, dog.
Lots of news for Kingdom Hearts 3 came out also, where like they showed yet another trailer. Kingdom Hearts 3.
It's Winnie the Pooh.
You're my friend now.
Winnie the Pooh, and they showed a Frozen, the character from Frozen. They showed fucking Pirates of the Caribbean levels, and they showed tons of characters in the game. But there's that. That's it. That's all I have for news for that. In other news, let's move on here and talk about some more serious news in Chicago. According to some news, the city of Chicago, Illinois, is planning to add a new video game tax to video games. Apparently, there's already a tax on Netflix, Pandora, Spotify, and Chicagoans, so I guess is what they're called. They already get taxed on that, and that's a part of the city's amusement tax.
Wow.
But
amusement tax. Okay.
I don't live there, but apparently they already have this in place. It's called an amusement tax. Pandora, Spotify, and Netflix get it. But they're saying that now, beginning November 14th, in just a few days here, Tuesday, any PlayStation user in the city that buys a new subscription to PlayStation, PlayStation Plus, or PlayStation Now, or uses PlayStation View, or anything related to PlayStation, you're going to get a new tax on that. Part of the amusement tax. Why you always got the hiccups, Eric?
We're gonna see a new Xbox.
Always drinking.
A lot more Xbox players in Chicago.
But it says here, yeah. I mean, some people are saying that this is unconstitutional, but I mean, this is what's happening, guys. I don't honestly know if it's unconstitutional or not. Maybe it's part of the Illinois Constitution that they can just do this. Apparently, they can because they already have.
It's the government; they can do what they want.
Yeah.
Well, when I say government, local government.
They said, and a ruling in 2015 by the city's Department of Finance extending their tax for their amusement tax for streaming services for content, including movies and video games and music. So, like, in 2015 they passed a law, obviously saying like, yeah, we can tax that too. Why not? And now they're moving on to the gaming. They've done streaming, they've done the music. Now it's the gaming. Well, it sucks for you guys. I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to pay a new tax on your subscriptions.
Anything they can tax, man, they will. You know,
that's shitty. That sucks. That really sucks. I'm sorry for people that live in Chicago.
They're going to use that money to fix their roads.
Shut up, Eric.
Why? Why should I care about the road? I'm sitting at home playing a fucking game.
No one gives a fuck about the roads anymore.
Hey, old people do, man.
And they're the ones that voted for this. Those damn kids are video games. They need to be taxed.
My husband will not stop playing Fortnite.
Tax him.
Tax him. This will show him.
Bullshit.
Yeah, apparently some people call this the cloud tax, the Netflix tax, and the Hamilton tax after the musical even gets taxed if you go buy tickets for the musical. You have to pay
I was going to say Vengeful Jedi needs to be, chime in on this one, but
he needs to be pissed. They get taxed on that shit. That sucks.
I don't know if he doesn't live in the city, so I don't know how that works.
Like how that works.
Probably just must go by zip code.
In other news, the video game strategy guide publisher Prima Games is shutting down. Prima Games is obviously known for their huge books they make on every single fucking game that comes out. They release these crazy, huge, thick books that cost $30 to buy, usually.
Oh, yeah. I just bought the Assassin's Creed thing, and I got the free digital version off of Prima Games, which I have here on my desktop.
Better download that soon, Gunny, because early 2019, they're closing up shop.
Well, I can't download it. It's just I have to go to the site to view it. I just unlocked it, so it's probably going bye-bye.
It says here the decision was announced by the Dorling Kindersley division of Penguin Random House, and all three of Prima Games' offices at Roseville, Indianapolis, and New York will close its doors, affecting all employees working there. While Roseville's will shut down by mid-November, the Indianapolis office will continue publishing guides until March 2019. So it says here, Prima Games Guides first began publishing strategy guides as an imprint of Dorling Kindersley in 1990. So there's that. They've been around for 20-something years now, but
they just not making money.
Who buys those guides anymore? Dude, YouTube killed that shit.
Yeah, they did.
Tell me when's the last time you bought a guide, Eric?
Sometime last year.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
How many did you buy?
I have a whole stack. I think my last one was the Assassin's Creed Odyssey, or not Odyssey, Origins.
Origins? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I got all the Gears strategy guides. I got the Gears of War 4 art book, and that was made by Dark Horse, though. I got Halo 5, Witcher 3. Yeah, dude.
You got Skyrim over there?
No.
That's the Bible.
Yeah, but it's been... I might buy one every 3 years.
Yeah, I don't see them buying them very much.
But it's just... I mean, they're still going to make strategy guides, right? They're just not going to be the...
No, they're not. They're done.
No, they're done, dude.
Damn.
They're shutting down shop.
Wow.
Yep. In other news, the Army is putting together a team of video gamers from within its ranks to try to reach young Americans in the digital worlds where they spend much of their time. It says here, more than 15 years after launching America's Army, a first-person shooter game aimed at enlisting real-world soldiers, the Army is calling for active duty troops and reservists to compete in video game tournaments or esports in one of its latest recruiting efforts. The move follows the Army's failure this year for the first time in more than a decade to meet its fiscal year target for bringing in new soldiers as it seeks to expand its ranks to more than 500,000 in the next 4 years. The Army is also creating a functional fitness team to compete in CrossFit athletic events and is reportedly looking to spruce up efforts with more bonuses, more recruiters, better furniture, and a new slogan to replace Army Strong. I mean, that's a pretty cool slogan. Be Army Strong. Yeah. Fuck yeah, America. We're going to say America, fuck yeah. That's the new slogan.
That's going to be the new one, yeah.
America, fuck yeah. That's going to be their new fucking slogan.
No, you give me like America's Army. Fuck yeah.
Give them hell, sir.
Oh, man. It says here the service plans to hold trials for a variety of electronic games, said Staff Sergeant Ryan Meaux, an Army recruiter, in a Facebook video on Wednesday. Says here officials had highlighted the team on social media late last week after a Twitter account was created in its name, and are expected to answer questions about it in an Ask Me Anything session on social media platform Reddit on Friday at 6 p.m. Central Time. So pretty much the Army is going to try to get people to join by playing video games with them. Hey, you like this game? I like this game too, son. How about you join the Army and we could play more games in the Army?
Come join America's Army while you're at boot camp.
Then we can make a movie out of it, like, because the guy's been in fucking esports for 7 years and he actually has to hit the battlefield, right?
Yeah.
Where's my controller?
This isn't like Fortnite.
I don't kill nobody. Real life. So. Yeah.
I mean, how do they expect to do this? Makes no sense to me. Like,
they have a marketing team, right?
They met no quota, okay? They didn't meet their quota for how many soldiers they're trying to bring in this year. So their idea is to go to esports tournaments. I get the CrossFit athletic training because they're going to these events where people are all fit and they're all about fitness and shit. I can see those people wanting to join the Army. But you're going to tell a gamer, hey, dude, join the Army. They're going to be like, what? It's cool. You play games in the Army. Like, what are they going to say to them? Gamers are not that stupid. I don't just see them convincing gamers to join the Army. I don't see it.
I think what it is that, you know what I think it's going to happen is they're just going to take the ones that, I don't know, for whatever their reasons of going in and going through your basic training, and, you know, that it finds out that they absolutely have a place for them if they complete. We're just going to take the ones that don't and go over to esports if you like video games, you know? I think that's where a lot of them are going to end up, but who knows? Maybe some might actually do it for the college funds and home loans and things like that. It might be a good incentive for them, you know?
Yeah.
To be like, well, they're just not going to go be a foot soldier or, you know, be a... Yes, other things for them.
They got different things to just join and actually... She's a fucking mechanic. And she's a girl. She's like a tiny girl. She's like 5'4" or some shit, and she's a fucking mechanic for like their tanks and their Humvees and shit. So
it's like the Marines, they actually, you know, that's how you get your commercial license, and there's a lot of other things to do.
Yeah, I'm not saying.
Yeah, there'll just be another one.
It's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. The Army's cool. I'll give you props if you join the Army. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm just saying it's going to be hard to appeal for certain people. Like, I know lots of people that are gamers that they would have no place in the Army. They just don't give a fuck. They'll just be like, there's no way they're going to join. I just don't get it.
Get out of the couch. What are you talking about?
Like
would actually go there and
I need to go run 5 miles in 2 minutes. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, they're going to be like, no way, dude. You know, like waking up at 3 in the morning because you decide to wake me up because you want to. Like, they're gonna fucking hate that. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens, though. Maybe it'll work out for them. Who knows? In other news, the PlayStation Classic is actually known. It's been revealed now that it uses an emulator to run its games. That's no surprise here because, well, they all do. But the thing is, PlayStation is actually using a fucking PCSX emulator for the PC. This is an emulator that was used for pirating games, and they just used that software to put it into their console that they're selling for $100. That's for free. You can download this free.
Yeah, you can get it.
It's like, please steal games.
At least, they say here on this article, at least Nintendo's emulator, because Nintendo uses an emulator for their console too. I don't think they're going to miniature pieces in their hardware. They're using an emulator for that console as well. The Nintendo Classic, Nintendo, whatever the fuck, all that shit. That's all emulated, but they say Nintendo actually made the software to emulate that. Like, they made their own emulation software. Sony just fucking downloaded this pirate shit. And they're gonna use that. So it makes no sense. It's just, what the fuck, Sony? And they're selling it for $100. Whatever though. See what happens. What do you guys think of
it's just for the list of games. I don't think it's worth $100. Just not at all.
Not for
Bring
that.
it down to $60, and I would definitely buy it.
It ain't worth it.
Yeah,
Well, give me $20 and I'll buy it.
something I can,
Real.
do retro.
This is a fucking stocking stuffer, man. Who the fuck buys a $100 gift for a stocking stuffer? Unless
Yeah,
you're
and it doesn't
rich?
even come with a power outlet thing or.
It's a
cord
fucking
or-
little USB cord or some shit.
I wonder if that was just to get away around the yellow listing or something. Just to say it's USB. Just plug it in the wall, one of your dongles or something. But yeah,
Yep.
maybe they'll come out with a
Yes.
better one with some better games next year.
In other news, move on here, some Red Dead news. In Red Dead Redemption 2, we obviously know the O'Driscolls are the enemy of the Dutch Vanderlyn gang. Colm O'Driscoll is the leader of the O'Driscoll gang. Well, apparently there's a guy in real life named Colm O'Driscoll. And he has a Twitter account under the
Okay.
name Colm O'Driscoll. According to him,
Yeah, how many
according
times
to
have you
him,
tweeted that?
he tweeted out, so it turns out I share the same name as a Red Dead Redemption 2 character, and now I'm receiving hate mail online. And there's people sending the messages like, you better hope I don't see you, or I'll slap the shit out of you in the
Oh my
streets.
goodness.
Jeez.
Because his name is
People need to chill.
Colm O'Driscoll.
Jeez.
Shit. People are sending this guy hate messages telling him they're going to fucking kill him, they're going to get him. And he's like, look, man, I just don't know. He says, quote, I find the whole thing kind of funny, but the messages are starting to get annoying. A little part of me worries that some of these people are so emotionally invested in the game that they're starting to lose perception of what's real and what isn't. So, I mean, obviously, yeah, there are some people that do believe video games are, like, real, like, that's life. And, like, don't get me wrong, Red Dead is fucking good. I played the fuck out of it the last few weeks here, like, a lot of it. But I'm not going to go message this guy.
You're not going to do it?
You
No?
fucking, I hate you.
You saw this in one, too.
you, I'm gonna slap you in the face.
Yeah, like, no way, dude. Like, what the fuck, guys? Calm down, chill. Like, I get,
Seriously, just chill.
it'll be funny to send them a message, or whatever, but, like, don't be hateful. Just send them, like, a funny, hey,
You know what?
You did this in the game or something.
Jesus, now that you've played, you've kind of turned this new leaf of whatever, why don't you just send him a message now and just say, I'm sorry?
No, Colm O'Driscoll meets his demise in Red Dead, so I'm like, oh, whatever. I'm not going to send this guy a message.
And send him, just say, like, I can't kill you because you're already dead.
Oh.
To me.
No, he's going to call the
Spoiler
FBI
alert.
or something. The fucking FBI will be kicking in my door because of this guy or some shit. No way. Anyways, in other news, Shen Sanyon is a grandfather who straps nearly a dozen phones to his bicycle and his waist to play Pokemon Go. That's right. Shen Sanyon, a Pokemon Go player from Taiwan, might be the very best, like no one ever was, guys. He said apparently he made international news in August when the people in Taiwan noticed him biking around with 11 phones attached to his bicycle. He made like a
Holy cow.
special mount that he put in the front of his bicycle on the handlebars that would hold 11 cell phones at the same time. Like, just 11 cell phones in the front of his bicycle at the same time. And he was running around Taiwan catching Pokemon on Pokemon Go. Now, he's made a waist holder. He can hold 15 phones on his waist.
Holy crap. You guys listening got to click on this link to
All
see
connected
this
to
image.
batteries that he has in his waist, like hanging off his left side of his waist here. He has a pack, like a huge bag, with batteries and chargers in them. He has all these phones wired to these battery chargers, and he's fucking running around Taiwan, walking around catching Pokemon with like 15 cell phones. It says here,
Damn.
according to local news that tracked them down, San Yuan spends more than $1,000 a month
Oh my gosh.
to feed his Pokemon Go habit. He said his favorite Pokemon is Snorlax, and he doesn't like to assault gyms because it makes other players feel bad. So he doesn't attack other gyms, he's just catching the Pokemon. I mean,
interesting. Yeah. Wow, this is quite a rig he's hooked up, and he's even got his umbrella hanging over just in case it rains. He's still going to go out there like a trooper.
Yeah.
That's one expensive phone bill, I'll tell you what.
Well, yeah, right, because he has to have the data for those phones. Unless he's paying data for one phone and then he
using the hotspot.
Oh, right, kind of, yeah.
Hotspots all the other phones into that phone. But then he still had to buy all the other phones.
Yeah, I would say he still had to purchase them all, right?
He still had to buy 12 more cell phones or whatever the fuck he has there. Wow. Just wow. That is incredible, man. I am impressed by this man's
Yeah, me too. I mean, the man
right now
gets out there and he's happy and he's getting his exercise and,
maybe he's
getting his
rich.
vitamin C every day.
And he just likes playing Pokemon Go and he's old and he does nothing better to do. He's going to I'm going to go get my exercise by walking around with 15 phones strapped to my waist. And I'm going to catch Pokemon.
Hey, I mean, you see those people, they're just, they go out, they're retired, they go golf.
Yeah.
They got so much money in the bank.
You see those guys at the golf course with the metal detectors or the beach with the metal detectors? Those guys, we don't give them shit because they're wearing the big metal wand. This guy is playing Pokemon. What's the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Pokemon
awesome.
Go, guys. Go play it.
And I think people would be amazed, as to, some of the people I see, that I've seen people in their 30s. They're just you wouldn't think they would be even playing such a thing. But it's I always see the guy playing Pokemon Go all the time.
Yeah, I have
everybody at this grocery store I go to, they're always playing.
Yeah, I know a few people in my town that they're known for just walking around playing Pokemon Go. They you'll see them, and you're oh, they must be playing Pokemon Go. And sure enough, one day I was leaving work, right? And right next to my work, there's this little road that goes. All it does, it goes to this one shop. There's a road that goes to one machine shop that's back there. It's a lumber mill or some shit. It's a private road. It goes back there. There was fucking 10 cars parked on that road. I was why is there so many cars parked there?
Drug deal going down.
And
right?
I see all these people just parked there. What the fuck? And I was thinking to myself, wait, there's something going down here on Pokemon Go. So I opened up the Pokemon Go app, and sure enough, there was a legendary Pokemon right there. Right there. I was I need to pull over myself and catch this Pokemon.
Should have pulled over there, humped your horn.
I need it.
Guys, there's a fire. Let's go. Watch them all scurry out.
Stop in the middle of the road, hit a U-turn, a legal U-turn just to go catch a Pokemon. Oh, man. Yeah. But it happens. People are still big into that. That game is huge still.
Yeah. They get a lot of people at their event, in Chicago and other places.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's go here. More news. Black Friday news. Let's see here. We got obviously the Xbox One dropping in price. People are predicting that the PS4 will drop in price too, obviously. And they're thinking that Target will have the Spiderman bundle for the PlayStation 4 Slim, the 1 terabyte bundle, for $200. You can find the same price at Best Buy and Walmart as well. So I'm assuming that's going to be the price across the board for the 1 terabyte Slim PS4. You're going to get a copy of Spider-Man and the PS4 for $200. That's really cheap.
Yeah.
Any pros? PS4 pros?
No, I don't see it. Let me see here. PS4 Pro. Nope, no price for the Pro. It says at Sam's Club you can actually get a pre-Black Friday sale where the system with no games will be $229 instead of $300. That's just the PS4 regular edition, the slim one. But they've also said that God of War will be half off, NBA 2K19 half off, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 will be on sale for $40. And we'll see about that. I don't see any deals for the PS4 Pro. That is bizarre. I don't know why.
Yeah, I thought I saw somebody had posted, I thought it was GameStop's Black Friday thing, but now I can't find it.
Yeah, I'm looking here. Walmart has displayed their Black Friday deals already, and there's no PlayStation 4 Pro discount.
That's silly.
I just don't think it's going to be discounted. I don't think Sony's offering a discount, so some retailers are not going to do it. Sometimes retailers give out discounts in hopes that you'll buy something else in the store that same day, because they're not getting the money back from Sony, right? Because Sony usually dictates what the price is going to be. They'll be like, drop it at $250 and we'll pay you the difference for the console or whatever when you send us how many you sold. But sometimes Sony just doesn't do it. They'll be like, no, we want you to sell it at full price still. If you give a discount, if you sell it for $300, then you're just taking $100 loss there. It's up to you what you want to do.
And I think we saw...
People are going to do it.
I did see some earlier this week. It might have been last week too, but regarding the Sony's VR.
Oh, Sony's VR is dropping in price, dropping $100 in price. So you can get a PSVR brand new with like Skyrim for I think $250 now with the Black Friday deals, and a regular edition with just Doom. It doesn't come with the wands though. That one's down to $200, I think, which isn't bad. The wands are like $60 or whatever, so you got to consider that. You can just pay $50 more and get the Skyrim edition if you can find it for $250. That's a good deal. But yeah, I'm looking as far as all these articles are saying no PS4 Pro Black Friday deals. Wow.
Yeah, darn, that sucks.
And everyone was predicting that they're gonna have like huge discounts on the PS4 Pro. Like, oh, it's gonna be big.
I don't know. I can never find a well. They restocked the PS4s, especially at my Target. They only put a couple in there at a time, of course, because they could always just get it UPS'd overnight. So they're only going to put one or two in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't seen any drops. But I haven't really checked online either.
Yeah, the regular Xbox will be down to $200. PS4 has a good deal. It's $200, but it's only for the standard edition.
And of course, you got your Nintendo Switch 10 off a certain game. That's about as low as they go, Yeah.
Yeah, Nintendo Switch. And then, it says here that Target actually has a deal for the Switch, where if you buy, you get a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for free.
Oh wow, because that's $60, man.
So
that's
there you go.
$50 deal right there.
Get that for free. I mean, I guess that makes sense. That's a cool buy. But yeah, seems like the best console deal. It's if you're gonna buy the most powerful console, I guess if you're going for a powerful console. Xbox One X, $400. Still kind of expensive though. You could buy a PS4 regular and a Xbox One S for that same price.
Yeah, that's true.
So think about that. You could buy two consoles that are weaker.
But if you're a
more games,
4K TV holder,
yeah, you
obviously pay the extra dollars.
You definitely want that Xbox One X. But that's all I have for news this week, guys and girls. I mean, obviously, more news will come out as we get closer to Black Friday. Hopefully, I was hoping for a discount on the PS4 Pro because I want to get one. I really want to get one for Spiderman, but I don't want to pay full price for one.
Yeah,
I've done it twice now, and I've sold both of them. I don't want to pay full price again and lose $100 when I sell it because I
keep checking that Craigslist.
My brother-in-law told me he'd sell his to me for like $150.
All right, Eric, this is what you gotta do. You gotta buy it for $150, and I'll give you $125 for it.
Heck no.
I'll give you
pay for shipping, Eric.
I'll give you $155 for it. Making $5, bro.
Jesus, no. You pay the shipping,
and I'll pay the shipping on top of that. So now you're making $5.
No,
for free.
No. What I'll do, I'll sell you my Slim.
No, what the fuck? I don't want. No, what the fuck is this? I could get a Slim for $200 with Spiderman. What is your deal? What's your offer?
$199
for this used Slim You've probably abused the shit out of it. That's why you want to sell it to me. No. Don't lie to me, Eric. I see you slamming on it and kicking it.
I don't slam it. I don't do that. I don't
Throwing
do that.
Dirt on it, you dirt merchant.
I don't do that. You dirt. Don't even call me a dirt merchant. Get the frick out of here.
It's got some burn marks from months that he placed on top of it.
Your fucking bong water spilled on it, so it smells like fucking nasty bong water.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, let's
sprayed on it.
Let's get some community questions, guys and girls. You can always leave us questions over on our Facebook community and our Discord as well. You can join both of those by clicking in the links on your show notes on whatever you're listening on. If you're listening on iTunes, go down in the show notes. There's links there for everything. Patreon, Mixer, Twitch, our website. Everything. Just fucking everything is there. I make sure I put everything there. I try to, at least. But go do it. Go now. Go
on. Okay, now that you're back, it's community question time.
Yeah. Questions, Gunny. What's the questions?
Our first one comes from Ricky Al. Yes, hello HGP. With all these new games and so little time because of work and other responsibilities, do any of you guys have time to work out? So, what do you do? It's so important to keep active, just saying, because you guys are awesome and I love your show and want to keep you guys fit and healthy for many years to come. He says, I happen to work out 5 days a week and work 60 to 65 hours. That's crazy. He says, working out makes me feel great and gives me more energy. Just less time for gaming. So, Jesus, how much iron are you pumping out per day?
Fuck, none. I should probably start working out now. This makes me motivated to start working out. Ricky, I'm going to try to work 5 days a week too now. You've motivated me for this. You work 60 hours a week. That's a lot.
I'm not motivated at all. I'm just gonna keep playing video games and eating food that's not healthy for me.
I do that, so I don't know. Maybe I should start working out, guys.
If you work out in the game, there you go. Just do that.
Oh, like, does that count if I actually work out in a game?
Yeah, that counts. I mean, I think that counts. Yeah, that works.
I mean, I might try that too. Might help. I don't know.
So yeah, for me, I just kind of sit on my chair all day and just kind of hope I can. No, so going back several months. Let's go a couple months ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's go back a couple months.
Go back.
So first of all, 4 days a week, I obviously deliver a lot of wine and alcohol by hand. So I have a hand truck. I don't use any electrical devices. Not even on my truck is an electrical device. It has a ramp where I can just like jump up and grab the shit.
Delivering whiskey and alcohol by wagon, guys.
Yeah, I'm trying to describe this here. I'm taking too long, but
he has no electrical devices anywhere near him.
Well, some people have got like Pepsi or like the beer guy, where I just have the pallet jack just, no, it has to be by hand. But still, like I think I was eating a lot of just garbage and having several English muffins and yeah, I would eat my bands and stuff and I had my potassium going. But now I'm drinking a lot more water, eating way less carbs. And I've been feeling really good. I basically went from 214 pounds. I weighed myself today. I am at 195 pounds and feeling pretty fucking good. So, yeah, obviously less time for gaming. But, I mean, now that we're in the holidays, I've been delivering a lot of champagne, so I'm getting that six-pack back again. Bulking up. That's what I'm doing. Everybody says I'm looking pretty hot, What do you think, Jesus? Huh?
I think you're looking pretty hot there, Gunny.
No, in all seriousness, I was not able to, because I always have to crouch down and pick up these cases. And I was having a hard time fucking breathing. Like, my face would get red and... It was like, and people were saying, yeah, it's probably your blood pressure, Like, how's your salt intake? Are you drinking enough water and things like that? So that really motivated me. I'm married, so I don't care how I look. So I just kind of came with it. So, yeah, I'm feeling really good. I can get down there pretty low and pick up any case. And, yeah, just trying to stay healthy. I've been doing a really good job at it. But, yeah, Ricky, I feel you, man. I wish I had more time to finish that Red Dead.
Finish that right. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Next one from Brian Tulp Jr. It says, What's your favorite costume you dressed in Halloween? I don't know if this was meant for last week or not.
I haven't dressed for Halloween in a long time. Because I was a kid, probably.
Yeah, but when you were a kid, was it like Spiderman?
No, my favorite one that I always remember was dressing up as Batman when I was like 5 or 6. Probably 6.
I always dress up like a stupid vampire.
That's stupid.
I've been a vampire before.
I know.
Why would you dress up as a vampire? That's so dumb.
Or I'd be like some sort of like sport player zombie, like a football zombie.
Oh yeah,
soccer.
Yeah.
I was horrible. I was horrible at picking a costume out for Halloween.
So I never had one that
I was on a budget.
Yeah, no doubt.
Same here, growing up poor as hell. Same thing. Hey, so I had 2 of them that came to mind that were kind of good memories of. The first one was me and my sister would dress up like aliens. Mom put like tinfoil on our heads and on our ears, you know? Yeah. Oh, I mean, we had no money at all. And then she put like this, like, not like black cream, but like a dark, like purplish cream on our face.
Okay.
Whatever the hell that was, but it made us look like friggin', you know, like aliens. It was fun. It was just fun, you know? Fun times back when I was 11.
Yeah.
And then me and a friend, when I was 13, 14, a good friend that I still talk to this day, we dressed up as women. And yeah, we went trick-or-treating like that. So we were like cross-dressers, man. It was fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, many, many years ago. So that was that.
Yeah, I remember, what the fuck, I dressed up, as Batman that one time. I really liked that one. I don't remember the other ones because I probably didn't like them.
Because remember you used to go to Toys R Us? That was the place you would go.
Yeah, Toys R Us or Kmart.
Yes, or Kmart. So you would just grab the cape and you'd be Superman and you just throw on the plastic, you know, thing. And then, you know, we were always like trying to cut the ice a little bit more and the mouth thing so we could smoke our cigarettes, you know?
Yeah.
Because that hole was way too small to breathe out of.
Anyways, next question.
Anyway, he has another question. It says, how many more weeks do you think you will be blowing Red Dead Redemption 2?
One more week for me, I think. I think once Battlefield 5 comes out, I'll be switching over to that and talking a lot about Battlefield 5. Hitman 2 came out yesterday for the Deluxe Edition owners, or Gold Edition, actually. Sorry, Gold Edition. That's $100. If you paid the $100, you get Expansion Pack 1 and 2, and all the stuff that comes with the Deluxe Edition, which is $80. And you can play it early for 5 days. And that came out yesterday. And I might get that game, but that game comes out Tuesday for the regular edition, so I might just wait for that. Yeah.
Same here.
Forever.
Haven't heard how many people playing Hitman 2 yet. I've seen like one person on my friends list playing it. Compared to Red Dead when it came out, I was like, you have 37 friends playing Red Dead Redemption 2 right now. You know, and there's like 80 people online and like 37 of them are playing Red Dead. It's like, oh crap. And then, speaking of that, like, there's a few people on my friends list that are like, I thought I put a lot of hours into the game, and they're like double the hours I've put into the game.
Wow.
I don't know how they're doing it. I just don't, like, I think they just haven't slept in a week or something and just played like 7 days in a row. Because, like, there was one time, because you know you can compare your stats with your friends, right? And you can see how often they played or how many achievements they've done or how many things they've done in the game or whatever. And, like, I was saying to them, I was like, yeah, I must be like ahead of everyone. I'm like so far ahead of Gunny and Eric, like they haven't caught up. And no, dude, I look at my list and I'm like number 8 on the list for time played and story completion. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Number 8 on the list?
Jeez. Hey, but we got like, Jesus, you know, we got people, especially in the Xbox Live community, that are, how do I say it, just disabled, or they're not, you know, they're maybe young, and then they just, you know, they're gamers, and, you know, and yeah, they just have a lot of time to put into gaming. So since they're not really going anywhere, and you're, you know, so
I don't
I'm jealous, though.
I am fucking jealous.
For like 2 months, you know?
Fuck, man. Like, I wish I could have that much time put into a game sometimes.
Oh, man, it'd be nice.
Red Dead is tough, dude. You leave that game and you come back and you're like, fuck this shit. What? I forgot how to do this.
You know why? You know why I haven't played well, for the most part, I haven't played Assassin's Creed or even touched it. Only because, you know, you're talking about all the story missions and stuff like that. I want to kind of try to keep up, but now you've blown past me. I might as well just play some of that and play some Assassin's Creed. Just maybe back and forth on that. But so that's what I'm going to do, Ryan. I think I'm just going to go back and forth on those games for the next, who knows, couple months. May talk about them, may not. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Hey, right. Yeah, and even Steve talked about that. Jesus, you're spoiling the game, darn you.
Who said that?
You're not. Steve Morleon from Belgium. He said you mean spoiling the game, right? Yeah.
Well, I mean,
hey, we warned you, Steve.
It's hard for me to talk about it without spoiling much. I mean, it's just...
Yeah.
It's a tough game. You can't describe it without really spoiling much of it. It's hard to describe it without spoiling much of it.
Hey, we're here to talk about our experiences. So.
You still got to play it, though. Like, honestly, like, I had a lot of it spoiled for me, like, different things that people were running into and things that people were experiencing. When I ran across those things, I still enjoyed them. Like, no matter what, I was like, this is fucking cool. Like, you know, I may have known this was going to happen, but it's still fucking cool the way it happened.
Yeah, sort of like what we were talking about, what me and Steve were talking about the Facebook group was, you know, you talked about the first week of going to that bar and you and Lenny getting just shit-faced drunk.
Lenny!
They did a fantastic job at that. I had to look away from the screen for a minute because, man, they did such a fantastic job on how they made you feel like you were intoxicated. And for me and Steve, we made it like over the fence. We got away. Where you got arrested.
Yeah, I like made it halfway over the fence and I fell over. Oh man!
And see, I thought I was just going to go down and wake up in jail, and then I wake up at a field somewhere. I'm just like, yeah, all right, what a night. Hey, and then you go back to camp, and Lenny's there though. I think he was there. He was just like, he didn't say anything. He just kind of looks over you and nods, you know, like. Yeah, it was a good night.
We woke up in jail, and Lenny paid our bail like $10, and then let us go.
See, so he probably paid his own and just kind of made his way home, and it was sort of one of those things not to ever talk about.
Lenny, my boy, Lenny.
Lenny! Lenny!
You see my friend Lenny around here?
Have you seen Lenny? That's probably my favorite part when they're all dancing in the bar.
Yeah.
What are you looking at? I said I'm looking at you. He's all fucking drunk.
There was one part where I thought he was going to get into a fight with someone, and then they were like,
yeah. They're all dancing, because the guy tells him, shut up, your friend Lenny isn't here. He's like, what you say to me? I said, shut up. And then Arthur's like, you want to say that to my face? And the guy's like, what are you talking shit? And then he's like, who do you think you're talking to? And Arthur's like, I'm talking to nobody. And he's like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, I said I'm talking to nobody. He looks like he's about to fight, and then they're all dancing and shit. It's fucking awesome, dude. And then he goes outside and takes a piss, and then he's drowning the one dude in the horse water.
Yeah.
It's just like drowning him. And Lenny pulls you off of him.
Lenny! Lenny!
And then you and Lenny get into the slapping fight where you're slapping each other.
Yeah, you're slapping each other.
Oh my god, dude. I've actually seen some of my friends do that. So I was fucking cracking up when that happened. I was like, oh, the good old slap fight happens. Yeah. Oh man. Good game.
Damn good game. Brandon and Rob, next question. What's the largest fish you caught in Red Dead, Eric? Anybody?
4 pounds.
Wait, really? 4 pounds? That's good. I've caught one that was like maybe 3 pounds. I haven't caught big fish at all. Like I said, now that I'm past the end of the story, kind of, I'm just going to go around and do all that shit. Go live in the wilderness for 2 weeks and not go back to my house or camp, but just go live out in the woods somewhere in the mountains and go explore. Because there's some really weird shit I've run into in the game. Like I told you during break, there's the wolf guy. I ran into him a few times. But there's other weird stuff. Like I ran into some crazy weird alien stuff. And just weird shit. Like in GTA 5, how you run into weird stuff. You run into some weird stuff in this game.
Yeah, like that guy talked about on Giant Bomb, where he just said he left camp for like literally a week in-game time. Yeah. And just said, fuck it, I'll just go back on my own time when I want.
And you could do that. You could
That's cool.
do whatever the fuck you want. The thing is, towards the end of the game, you kind of want to... I feel like I wanted to rush things through or whatever. But I could have done that with Arthur. Now I'm just not doing that with him. And I'm doing it, my own pace, doing my own thing. So hopefully I can just have fun and explore some things. I think Johnny Don't, Andrew, he told me that he found a witch's hut somewhere in the game.
Yeah, I've heard about that. A cauldron and different.
Yeah, you could drink out of the cauldron. You can choose to drink out of it. I was like, I don't know if I'd want to drink out of a witch's cauldron. You know what the fuck's in there?
Right. What are you gonna? What do you see? What is it?
What if it makes you
yeah, but I haven't fished in the game yet. So, hey, you said it was part of my inventory. I guess it is.
Yeah, it's
on my horse.
You might have you been fishing with the little boy yet?
No, I haven't done that.
That's what you got to do. That's like a tutorial mission. It teaches you how to fish, and you got to do that. And then the fishing rod is in your inventory, just there. That's how I found it.
Okay. I mean, I've got everybody back at camp. Everybody's there. I've done their mission, so it's probably someone.
I.M. showed me a picture. He caught a fish that was like 20 pounds. It was fucking huge. It was like the size of his body. He was like, "Look what I just caught." I'm like, "How the fuck did you catch that, dude?" He's like, "I don't know. I was just on the right here, and I saw him in the water, so I started fishing, and I was like, oh, that's fucking crazy." Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Jonathan Hall. He wants to know. Mr. Pinpoint Red wants to know, how am I going to deal with my gamer voter when news starts coming in on Titanfall 3 and the new Respawn Star Wars game? Is there a number I can call if it lasts for over 2 months? Help, please. Jesus, help this guy.
We don't... Hgp support does not deal with medical problems. We're sorry. We can't give medical advice to you.
Based on our contract?
Yeah. We apologize. We can't give out medical advice, Pen.
Maybe talk to your girlfriend about that, your wife.
Your wife. Titanfall 3. Yeah, man. Because they already said Titanfall 3 coming out next fall. That's fucking crazy. I didn't think it was going to come out because they haven't even talked about it. It's not like they even mentioned it. They just like all of a sudden said, yep, Titanfall 3 coming out next fall. And oh, by the way, the new Star Wars game coming out next fall too. Like, what? That's fucking crazy. Like, Respawn has been busy then. If they've been working on both of those games at the same time, just working on both.
Yeah.
Because
they must have.
I'm hyped, dude. I loved Titanfall 1. Loved Titanfall 2. Great games. Probably some of the best multiplayer shooters out there on this generation. They just feel solid on the movements and the way the characters run. The mechs, they all feel good. Can't wait to see what they do with Titanfall 3. It's going to be pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, and it'll be good just to not have that, like, to be not announced, but to come out as around the same even month as like a Battlefield or Call of Duty. Give other gamers a chance to purchase this,
Yeah, I hope.
It until the next one.
I'm glad that they're not doing a Battlefield next year. That they're doing they've realized like, well, we shouldn't release Titanfall and Battlefield together. Let's release them separate years, off years. So like next year is Titanfall. Maybe the year after that is the next Battlefield or something. That's the way they should have done it in the first place. They screwed up with Titanfall 2, but hey, they probably learned from their mistakes, and we're here now.
Yeah, and I mean, it wasn't like a complete screw up. I just think it was, they would have gotten a lot of bigger player base,
Yeah,
if
definitely.
we can all agree with that. Right, Jonathan? He agrees. So, because the more players, the better it is, right? The funner the game.
Yeah.
All right, next question from Discord. Betterholic. He says, I know Gib 877, that guy, talks about Dead Cells all the time on the show. But have you guys played it? It's a game I didn't think I'd like, but it's awesome and can't stop playing it.
No, I haven't played it. I just doesn't interest me, man.
I've actually thought about getting it.
As much as Ryan has talked about it, it made me want to get it, but I realized like Ryan's a different type of gamer than I am, and he has a different taste in certain games than I do, and it just doesn't seem like a game for me.
Yeah, and same here. I think I'm just not so much into platformers. As much as I might say, yeah, I've played indie games, but I think platformer-wise, it's not something I'm
going to see if it's going to be on sale for during Christmas time.
Yeah, I played it for a bit when it first came out on Steam. That's when I first bought it, before it even came to Xbox. Mm-hmm. So, and it just kind of dropped off for me. Yeah, so anyway, our last question is he has a couple questions. From the Blaze Experience podcast, Mr. Blaze. Let's see, what was the biggest reveal for each of you, and also regarding XO, and also the one reveal that made you go, really? You made me watch that. Anything that you saw on there on that XO event? I can't think of anything offhand since I didn't watch the entire thing. Or see anything really revealed, other than a lot of Game Pass stuff.
Some of the coolest stuff that I liked is all the games coming out to Game Pass and how they're really invested in that. And I personally think that it's a good move for PUBG to come to games. As much as I don't play that game anymore, I think lots of new people are going to try it. Let's see what the hype is about. Like, why do so many people like this Battle Royale or whatever, Like, just try it. You'll like it, I think.
Yeah.
As far as what made me go, really, you making me watch that was those Xbox trailers. And I was like, what the fuck? Why are you showing me a trailer for the Xbox?
Yeah. I think they just kind of had that on hand.
They have to have it like to bad time to make people get that guy across. Get him across the fucking stage. Get him over there, like by those people, by that screen over there. Yeah, he needs to walk over there. Let's buy some time for him.
Just filler, I think.
Yeah. But like I said, those commercials would be awesome on TV. It's fucking incredible.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can't think of anything yet, Blaze, but, maybe go back if I watch it and see what else they had on there. Let's see. Anything else he says? Let's see. What hypothetical news would surprise you the most to find out? No, I can't think of anything there. And our last question is from Medum Send Food on Discord. What is the weirdest thing you've seen in Red Dead?
I already told you guys. There's a couple things that I saw. So one of them is the main weirdest one is the wolf guy. He's in the forest in the northwest or northeast part of the map, and I'm just riding my horse through the forest, and all of a sudden I hear howling, like somebody's howling. And like how when like people are talking and you can interact with them, like that white thing kind of pops up on the screen.
Yeah,
it kind of showing you the direction where it's coming from. So I always get near it, and there's a naked guy. He's completely naked, and he's crouching down. Usually in the nighttime, usually foggy outside, and he's howling like a wolf. Maybe it's during like a full moon. I never even noticed that. Maybe. Maybe it is during a full moon. I don't know. But anyways, he'll be sitting there howling, and as you get close to him, you can like lock onto him, and it'll say stranger on it. And I never had the option to interact with him because I never get close enough to do something. But every time I get close, he'll turn around, he'll look at me, he's naked, and he'll growl at me like a dog or like a wolf. And then he takes off, but he takes off running like in all fours. Like he like runs like Smeagol or something. Like jumps with his back legs and runs on all fours, and he like the wolves that are near him, usually with like a pack of wolves, like 3 or 4 of them, and they'll attack me, so I shoot them because they're running at me and they're trying to kill me, and then I always lose track of him. I can never find him. I can never know where he went, and he's appeared to me like 3 or 4 times in the game already. Like, who the fuck is this wolf guy? Who is he? Is he like some person being raised by wolves in the wilderness? What's going on, guys? I don't know.
I can't wait to hear somebody who actually like snuck up on him and killed him or something.
Maybe.
Yeah, or like took him out with a bow and arrow.
Maybe I should.
You can't interact with him.
Maybe I should do next time. That's what I'm gonna try.
Let him bite you. See what happens.
No. This is what I'm gonna do next time. Is I'm going to pull out my sniper rifle, and when I hear the howling, I'm gonna aim at him from a distance where he doesn't see me, and shoot him in the head. Maybe he'll die, and I'll get to see what the fuck he's all about. I don't know. Maybe that won't work, but I'll try. Another
see
weird
if you
thing,
can rob him of whatever is on his. Well, he's naked, so there's probably not much there.
Nothing there. Yeah. And then another thing that I
want to feel around.
Obviously, was the night folk. They're in the swamps. I ran into them once. Never seen them again. I've been trying to look for them too. I haven't found them ever again. But maybe now that I've kind of done, I'm at the end game, I could probably go back and see if I could find them. The night folk are mentioned in the main story mission. Like, there's a dude that lives in the swamp. You go do a few missions with him. And he actually mentions the night folk. He tells you about, like, the gators. He's like, yeah, the gators are not the only thing to worry about around here. We got the night folk. And Arthur's like, what the fuck's the night folk? And he's like, you haven't heard about the night folk? Everyone around here knows about the night folk. You don't mess with them. They come out at night or whatever, and they come get you or whatever. It's like, okay, whatever you say, dude. And then I was in the northeast once again. I was up there, because up there is where most of the end of the game takes place. I was up there, and I found this cabin in the middle of the woods. I don't know where the fuck it's at, actually, to be honest with you. I couldn't pinpoint it on the map. But I found this cabin, and this was my moments where I was kicking doors and shooting people and just looting everything. So I go into the cabin, I have my shotgun out, I go in there, and there's nothing but dead bodies in there. Like, skeletons all in there, like, just lying like on these beds. There's like two rows of beds. And there's like an altar in the middle in front of me at the door. Like, the altar's at the end of the hall there, like the end of the walkway. And a big green light started like fucking shining down from the sky. I was like, what the fuck? So I ran outside as fast as I could. I look up and there's a spaceship there. And it was just floating like a weird looking, like a flying saucer. It was like aiming its little light at the building. And then it took off. As soon as I went outside and looked up at it, I was able to take a screenshot of it, of me pointing my pistol of
screenshot.
It. And then it took off, and then I went back into the place, and I started like looting the place, like searching the drawers. And there wasn't much in there. I found like a few gold rings and maybe like some tonics. And then I went to the front, and there was a guy wearing like some robes. He kind of looked like a priest almost. And he was sitting there like on the desk, and it was just a skeleton. And it said like, read note. And I read the note that he left, and it was like some weird shit about them being in a cult and going to join. They were going to join some god alien or some shit that was going to make them live 10,000 years, and they're going to return in 10,000 years or something.
Oh, probably in reference to that Hale-Bopp comet,
Or something. They're like, yeah, we're going to come back in 10,000 years. We got to like get ready to join our brothers in space or something like this. And then, oh, hell, this fucking god in space. And then, like, we're going to join him and whatever. He's going to bring us back in 10,000 years. We're going to send our souls to him or something. And then, yeah, sure enough, like, a spaceship showed up when I was there. So I was like, maybe they were right. Maybe they got sucked up into space or something. And I don't know. What the fuck? Weird shit.
Yeah. They live.
What's some weird stuff you ran into, Gunny?
Well, I wouldn't say weird, but maybe because I didn't know it was an Easter egg at first. When I was doing one of the missions where I had to go photograph those people that were the good gunslingers, and I think there was like that lake that was iced over, and on the ice it had like, I don't know, something like "Make your dreams live on" or something. It was just weird to me at first.
Like written on the ice? That's weird.
Yeah, it was written on the ice. I took a screenshot of it. But then I realized, like, I started thinking, like, oh, it's probably just an Easter egg I just found. But,
yeah, I told you about the one that I found last week. That was, like, I was searching through the drawers, and, like, this drawer that I opened up was empty. And there was a last drawer on the top. Because, usually when you open, like, drawers on a dresser, he goes to the bottom one first.
Right.
And the top one had something written on there that said, "There's nothing here. You want more than what you have," or something like that. And I was like, well, they got a point. I do want more than what I have.
Yeah.
That's why I'm searching for the drawers, like, they got a point here, and I take a screenshot of that, too. But I've heard there's vampires you can find in the game, Gunny. You got to find their hidden messages in Saint Denis, I think. Yeah. I haven't found them, but you could find them around the city.
I listened to vampire book right now. So
there's a vampire you can find, and I don't know if you kill him. I don't know what you do with him, but you find him. You find all these like notes or hidden messages around the city about shit, and you take notes down on Arthur's journal. Then after you find all 4 or 5 of them, you get like a side quest that pops up to go find this vampire.
Cool. Kind of like a Skyrim Easter egg.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
That's weird. I didn't see that on the ice though. I gotta go back. I gotta go back to the ice and find that message now.
What's his name? It's the shit. The guy you like up in north. What is it? Northwest.
Yeah.
That mission where you go up there and you got to go take. Well, you basically got to go kill them all. So
yeah, you gotta. Well, you don't kill. I think.
But you don't have to. It's on the ice there, in the middle of the lake.
There's 2 of them that I didn't kill. 2 of the gunslingers that I did. And speaking of gunslingers,
the lady you didn't.
Yesterday I went to Valentine, right? And I went to the horse stall, and I was like, I needed to fix my horse up because it was all dirty. So I cleaned it up. I paid the $5. As I'm walking down with my horse, I hear these 2 guys to the right of me. They're walking down the road, and they're like, "You son of a bitch! You owe me my money." And the other guy's like, "I ain't gonna pay you shit. I don't owe you nothing." And then the other dude, like, they're staying like probably like 12 feet apart. And the other dude's like, "That's it. This is it right here, right now. Draw." And the guy's like, "What?" He's like, "Draw." And they like looks like they're about to do like a draw, like a battle, you know. And the dude just pulls out his revolver and shoots the other guy. And then he's like, "Yeah, I told you, you son of a bitch. You got to pay my money. Now look where you ended up." And then I walked up to him, and Arthur's like, he's like, "Anyone want to challenge me?" Because he's staying there, right? He's like talking to everybody in the town. He's like, "Any of you bastards want to challenge me? I'm the best gunslinger in this whole area," or something. And Arthur's like, "I'll challenge you." And I challenged him, and I fucking died.
Yeah.
The dude fucked me up. I didn't draw quick enough or something. It's really hard to do the drawing gun battles in this game. It's fucking hard.
Man, I just think the one on the train, the guy that I had to go get on the train, I probably failed that thing at least 10 times.
Cause I don't get like the holding RT lightly to fill up the meter, because I always do that, and like it seems to me like you can't hold it down till it fills up all the way, because they always draw like either halfway, a quarter through the way, or 3/4 into the thing. And so you never know when they're going to draw, and they just shoot you like right away when they draw. It's like, boom, They just shoot you like right there. You don't even get a chance.
It's got to be, I think it's got to be exactly halfway. And you can't like let off of that right trigger at all at one bit, because if you do, they draw. If you go too far, they draw.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. And the dude killed me, and then when I respawned, he was gone. I was like, I'm going to challenge him again, and I couldn't find him. So like,
well, you know what so check this out. I did with the Pro Controller, right? Mm-hmm. So I clicked the thing on the right trigger.
Yeah.
And it filled away, but then like that's where it has to be, is halfway, I found out. But then you can't actually like fully press the right trigger, because, again, you've got it set to halfway. So I'm like, okay, at least that lets me know that's where I need to be. So maybe that might be helpful for some.
I don't get it. I have a heart at that stuff, so we'll see. But that's another weird thing I ran into. What do you run into in the game, Eric? That's kind of weird.
The naked dude while I was fishing. He's swimming in the river or whatever, and
I'm commando.
I'm fishing with the O'Driscoll kid, and this dude just starts swimming. He's like, "Hey, water's kind of cool. You should come on in." Yeah. I'm like, "No, dude. I'm just trying to catch some fish." That's probably the weirdest thing I've ran into.
Yeah. And you can read the newspapers in the game, and they'll mention things that are kind of weird in certain areas of the map.
I was going to say that too. Like, I did read some of the articles I picked up in Denise from a paper. Yeah.
Like one I was reading yesterday was in Valentine, and like it was the most recent article, and it was talking about how some people in the nighttime, during when it's foggy out, they'll hear like Indians crying. And they're like, they think it's the ghost of all the Indians they killed around here or something like that. And maybe you'll hear them too if you're here at nighttime during the fog. I'm like, maybe I should wait here till it turns nighttime and see if I hear anything. But I was like, I don't know if it's going to be foggy or not. Kind of in the game when it's foggy or when it isn't. So I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to leave.
Well, hey, I was playing with this past week I was playing with Alan maybe and somebody else, and they said, like, I keep hearing Indians, but I don't see them.
Oh, wow. I mean, they might have been running into that, and they just don't realize that they were running into that. But yeah, you could hear, apparently you could hear Indians crying in the middle of the night around that area if it's foggy, and if it's nighttime and you're alone, you'll hear it. I never heard it. I've heard the wolf guy. That fucker's naked and he's living with wolves or something. Gotta go find where that guy is at. He has to be in a cave or something, right? Like,
yeah, he's probably got a home
something. There. I don't know. It's weird. But yeah.
That's all we have for questions.
Awesome. Well, thank you, people, for listening. Thank you for enjoying the show. If you want to, you can always leave us a review on iTunes on all that stuff. 5 stars is appreciated, but whatever you want to leave, go ahead and leave it. And you can join our Facebook group, Horrible Gamers Podcast Community on Facebook. You go to page as well. You go like that. And Discord. In the show notes, you'll see the link for the Discord. Go join that. And that's it. Twitter, @_Horrible Gamers. Find me on Xbox Live, gamertag Jesus Walks a lot. I'll be playing more Red Dead this week. Probably more Battlefield 5 tonight. I'm playing after the show here. But that's it. What about you, Gunny?
Hey, find me on Xbox Live and on Steam, gamertag Gunny Chief, playing some Red Dead Redemption. Probably a few other indie games as well. Kind of break it up a bit. And you, Eric, where can we find you? What are you playing?
Xbox. You can find me on Xbox, St. Nicholas, PlayStation, Epic Irk, and Twitter, Epic Irk.
Eric, real quick question for you.
What?
Read that article about Destiny not being as successful as they should have been. What do you think about that?
I'm not. It doesn't hurt my feelings.
Do you think it's true that they need to charge more for microtransactions?
I don't think they should have microtransactions.
Apparently they do, and they're going to. But I don't know. We'll see.
Tune in next week for that story.
Good night, Jesus. What does Jesus say?
Peace out, bros. We'll catch you on the next week's edition of the Horrible Gamers Podcast. We love you. Take care. Stay safe out there. We love you all. And yeah, listen to the show 10 times in a row. Why not? Goodbye. We're done.
Goodbye.